I was curious.
Yeah.
How do you go about like learning new tools?
Uh, it would be practice. It would be spending time fucking with them and getting proficient.
Okay.
You need a set of tools, and then you need to actually like have a way to practice and really spend the time working at it.
Uh-oh. I probably better not do that on the ship.
Depends on what the tools are.
Right.
Alchemy.
Hey, that's what I'm working on too.
Yeah, that could go
Oh,
badly for you, but we'll see. Maybe talk to the other party members because they might have something for you.
sweet.
All right. So I will give
I
you guys
actually
go.
have a spare alchemy kit.
Yeah, you do because you have like half of one
Yeah, half of
because
one.
you have the half that you found
Yeah.
of like extra vials and stuff like that, and then you have your full kit.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I got to thinking on new types of ammunition
Oh, nice.
Oh boy.
and looking through other source books.
You gonna try to make like acid bullets or acid filled bullets and like explosive bullets and shit?
Probably
Yeah.
stuff like that, and also armor-piercing bullets who just go like straight through things.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how
You gonna make some
armor
hollow
piercing would
points?
work because there's like no really armor damaging rules in this one.
Probably just extra damage to things that have like really thick skin,
So
Or
let
like
me.
hardness.
or like
Oh.
reduces an AC of something.
Yeah, that's probably what it'd be, right? Like or it just adds to hit. It would effectively increase, against armor. Let me see what extra supplies I have. Looks like I didn't write it down.
Ooh. I hate mornings.
Let me
Mornings.
Oh, hey Saber.
Hey.
so why doesn't it tell me? Nope, that's not what I wanted. Herp derp. Would the alchemist kit be in the PHP?
Yes. Under like the tools and stuff.
Tools, right, 154.
Hold on, are you actually using the physical book?
Yeah,
Nice.
it's just easier to use it for some things. Let's see.
Yep.
Alright.
I thought they were.
I sometimes forget people don't always run double monitors.
Well, I have a double monitor. It's just, again, easier to look up some shit.
I really want a third monitor.
Same.
It doesn't actually say what comes in alchemist supplies. But I know I have like an extra mortar and pestle, a couple extra vials. What else? Like a stand, maybe. Because I bought half of an alchemist kit.
Sadly, I wouldn't be able to afford to buy you the other half.
I mean, it'd be like 20 gold, 25 gold.
I've got 8.
I remember
Yeah,
he
I
spent all his money last session getting these fancy magical items.
I have 18, so we could pull it together and get the rest of it.
Hey, who knows? I might be able to reenact a scene from like Boondock Saints.
Oh, that's weird. That is, you only do get a list of items or alchemist supplies and then, like, nothing.
Yeah, there's like no like text entry for it.
Yeah, it just says, like, you get the tools to be proficient in. Yeah, it's like, well, that doesn't help me. Everything else has it. Well, not
Roll
everything,
to
but
burn your enemy's face with a Bunsen burner.
Yeah.
Roll to ask an enemy to consume this unknown liquid you've concocted. Just to observe its effects. Purely for science.
So yet, or Saber, need to talk with you about you casting or enchanting my Razor's Edge with enlarged reduce. Because as it stands, when I turn into a Minotaur, I don't have a weapon. Raven brought that up to me the other day.
Oh, so you were literally hitting them very hard with an imaginary weapon.
Right. He's like, "Where are you storing this great axe, this large great axe?" And I'm like, "Oh, right. That I guess it wouldn't
just comes with the
appear when
form.
I transform, right?" So,
You just use my great axe.
which
Would be a
it-
one-handed
even-
axe.
It'd still have to be enlarged because a Minotaur's great axe is considered large or huge even.
Okay.
So, like, he's allowing me to use Razor's Edge as like a tiny weapon, so it's not doing near as much damage. It's like 1d10 plus 1d6.
I'm gonna fucking laugh if you have to carry a gigantic ass axe on your back all the time.
Yeah, it's 1d10 plus 1d6 instead of being the like 2d12 plus whatever.
Well, he wouldn't have ever enchanted anything, so I don't really know how to do it, but I guess we could try.
Suddenly the
Either
axe
that or,
grows like
like,
50
try to
feet
get
and
it-
busts out the side of the airship.
Back to Sarah to see if she would do it. But then we'd have to go back to pick it up or something, you know, like it's just a big hoopla. Because I don't get fancy teleporting weapons.
Yeah, that was a nice trick.
Also, enlarge reduce affects the person, so it would
But
just
you can-
happen to also affect your axe. Like, I can't just make it affect an object.
Well, you
No, but
be able to
with a
enchant.
successful Arcana check, you could have it
Oh,
affect the weapon if that was the aim of the enchantment. Of course, if it ever goes off at the wrong time, it would be kind of hilarious to watch Bramnick try to haul around a giant fucking axe.
Yeah. I mean, at least I don't have like a negative strength modifier.
Wait, doesn't Nyx have that? Does she have like a -2?
Something like that. -1 maybe.
I don't know.
Isn't
To what, strength?
Yeah.
-2.
Yeah, that's why her dagger healed.
Yeah.
That
I
was
remember
the
that.
greatest thing.
I'm helping!
Push
Yeah,
dagger,
'cause it was
-2
the push
damage.
dagger, right? So it's not a dex weapon, right? It's
Yeah, also didn't have proficiency. Oh man.
I think
Hey,
Warlocks
you
have
could-
proficiency in daggers.
Maybe Nyx can market that somehow with the negative modifier. Just keep rolling like 1s and 0s. And then
I
have,
furiously stab Carillion back to life.
Yeah.
Hey, you see this dagger? It looks really sharp and dangerous, but don't worry, it isn't. It's a dagger of healing.
Yeah.
When you hit somebody with it, they get better.
Okay, I think I got everything here. I hope.
Huh?
We'll find out. One way or another. Let me do this really quick. Alright, so last time, you guys managed to make it to Praven before your hull collapsed, which is good.
Yay.
You found Declan, who gave you a discount for helping him get to Kiokrati due to hopefully rebuilding the sky dock there, an old sky dock there. In the meantime, you guys have attempted some shopping, some more successfully than others. Some of you got lost on the way, which was kind of great.
Ha ha ha.
However, at this point, you wake up on the morning of the third day. You notice that there are, as you wake up and kind of get yourself together for whatever else you guys want to do today before you leave, knowing you'll probably be leaving in the morning or late tonight, whatever your choice is. You notice that Declan, is already just about ready to get started. He's got 2 assistants, a half-orc individual who seems to be of carpenter's kind of make, the strong, burly type, and a smaller, thinner male who seems to be using magic, essentially, to lift and move things as best he can.
How burly we talking here?
We're talking not quite toss-sized, but he's a pretty big guy.
I asked him if he wants to do a quick arm wrestle just before, you know.
He looks at you, looks around really quickly. All right, real quick, before Declan gets back.
Yeah, I know. Before Ta here, sees me fucking around. All right, we set up, and I guess I'm gonna roll athletics.
All right. Let me.
Hey. For some reason, that's the very top of the chat log.
So you actually pull his arm down about halfway, or about a third of the way. He looks like he's kind of straining against you at the moment, but you don't have him beat yet.
All right,
You wanna go again?
I kind of give him this nice toothy grin. He's like, all right, it's on.
All right, roll again.
Oh God, no.
Oh, he brings it back up and a little over towards his side.
I mean,
He kind of gives you a pretty toothy grin. You can see the bottom 2 incisors. Pretty typical of orc kind. Sort of just he's just staring at you, kind of with this almost knowing smile.
No, it's a fight.
All right, one more.
Oh.
Ooh, he brings you down. You are hovering just above the table. Or rather, it's not even a table. It's just a bunch of wood that's been piled up either that you're sitting on either side of. Both of you at this point are straining ridiculously hard, trying to best each other. One more.
Oh no.
He slams your fist down onto the wood, just sort of grinning at you.
I think he's gonna
better luck next time.
I just kind of give him this squint and shake his hand really hard.
At that point, Declan starts walking, down that way, and he immediately jumps up and starts hauling wood towards towards your ship. Nothing to see here, sort of style.
Yep.
I'm gonna find Ta.
Okay.
Uh, assuming he's probably up top somewhere watching the repairs and stuff happen. Or is the ship already repaired, or are they?
It
working?
is in the process of being repaired. They're putting like they're trying to. So basically, what they did initially, and you guys would have noticed this, is they shored up the center beams, in at the front of the ship, since those were somewhat damaged by the Griffin and just from use. They also are sort of replacing and fixing the stuff underneath the waterline, to make sure that you actually have a stable bit of water, or you're not going to take on water when you start going through. So yeah, basically this area right here has been shored up, and they're working right now. They'd actually still be on this deck, sort of shoring up the underside. This top part here seems to be the last bit that they're actually working on. They've pulled the plug that you guys made out and are literally using it to feed the lumber through. Because why the fuck not?
So go over to Ta. Hey Ta.
Hmm.
That leather worker. He said that my armor should be done today. Correct?
As far as I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe
well,
you
I'm
said
not-
this afternoon.
I'll have to go check on that sometime. Also, have you ever dabbled in enchanting?
Nope.
Right. Well, maybe we could work on a project together sometime. The issue is, remember seeing me turn into that Minotaur?
Yeah, I remember.
Well, my little dainty axe doesn't quite work so well in that form, and I was thinking maybe we could try something kind of different. And that fancy spell you have where you make yourself really small or big, maybe we could try doing that on my weapon to make it fit better for that form.
Did that already have an enchantment on it, or is it?
Nope,
it just?
it's just a
No, it's
nice
just
weapon.
got a weird property about it. It's not
Okay.
so much an enchantment as it's got a ridiculously keen edge.
Okay. And I'd take the great axe off my back. Would you rather just use this?
There's that point.
Well, I thought you had mentioned that even that would be too small because the Minotaur's weapon was considered like huge or large or something.
No, not necessarily. Well, it would be better than your axe, at least at the moment. But yeah, if you want like the best you can manage in that form, getting a actual built to size weapon would be the best choice.
Right. Just out of character, what would that change? Like, because at the moment I've got the Minotaur weapon at a 1d10 plus a 1d6.
It'd be a
instead of the
1d12 plus a 1d6 for the moment, and then later on, if you got that to do the enlarged craziness,
Mm-hmm.
then that would be 2d12 and 1d6.
Okay.
Plus, then Ta could use it as a giant fucking weapon and get some of the same benefits.
Well, I mean, mine grow with me though. Is the thing.
Yeah, I mean, and that's part of the problem is that if it's part of it is the Minotaur thing, and part of it is growing with is awesome and all, but like it doesn't work with the beast shape sort of thing because you're not enlarging your stuff with it.
Would I be able to even haul around a great axe, a battle axe, and my whip? Like that's.
Are you
I mean,
strong
you
enough? Is the
could.
question, I believe.
You could.
You
If
have a
it
giant
doesn't
handle
kill
sticking
your...
way over your head.
Like
Yeah,
another
I mean, it
6
would
feet
be
over your
pretty-
head.
It'd be kind of awkward looking.
Would it be easier, say, because like I know we have a great sword in the bag of holding?
They're about the same size.
About
The
same
difference
size.
is that the cutting blade is a giant fucking,
piece of steel instead of mostly half and
versus
axe.
a thinner but longer sword. I mean, it's the same.
But I'd still get the same properties if I use the great sword over the great axe. Like it'd still be
Yeah, the only difference between a great sword and a great axe is that a great sword is like 2d6, I think, and then a great axe
Yep.
is d12.
Yep.
So if you crit with it, it's actually a lot better if you're using a great axe.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'd be able to manage. I'd just look funny.
Yeah.
Hauling around.
Yeah, you'd look pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, sure. I'll use that for now until we can get something worked out.
And I mean,
If you don't mind.
If we do decide to try and enchant it, which again I've never done, so I didn't want to destroy your nice axe that you have, we could try it on that great axe.
Okay. I mean, it's your great axe, so whatever you're okay with.
I don't think I've ever even used it. I just keep it if I really need a heavy hit, but I do okay now.
Yeah, Orc Slayer is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm quite proud of that weapon.
Mm-hmm.
cool. Yeah, I appreciate it. And, I'll take it from. I'll just store it in my room for now.
All right.
And then I'll go check with everybody. Is everybody in the rooms? Are they on deck? Where's everybody at the moment? So I can.
Good question. Where is everybody?
Is it morning?
Sleeping.
Yeah, it's the morning.
I'm on the deck. I just finished arm wrestling that dude. Barely
It
losing.
would have been just off the ship. You guys are kind of tied up alongside at the moment.
I'm checking over Ballista.
Okay. Anything in particular you're looking for?
Oh, just looking over, making sure they're prepped for
All right.
flight or whatever.
Where's Birdie?
Sleeping.
Cool.
Nyx is
Well,
probably
trying.
eating some breakfast, and you know what? I think she wants to look at that book again, the one where she found out all that shit about the summoning and stuff.
Wait, which book? You have a
One
couple
second.
now.
1 second. Yeah. What the fuck is it? I wrote it down. 1 second. It mentioned the Soul Cree.
Soul Siri?
Oh, yeah.
And
Soul Siri, yeah.
yeah, it was that
Interesting
book.
names.
Yeah, and it
Okay.
mentioned like the islands and stuff, and how before
What
they
are you
used to.
looking for?
All right, she specifically wants to look for anything that references the Fire Realm, or a different location of another location where it may be possible for them to do this again.
Okay. Make me an investigation check. Primarily because while the book itself has a lot of information, a lot of it is written kind of in what would be considered Old English and kind of cryptically. It seems like, well, this is a history. It's almost written in a way to have to be deciphered, or you have to have some kind of previous knowledge to make it all fit.
Here he goes.
Okay. So you find reference to the 7 individuals, or 7 names anyway, of the Sulcree or Sulciri. All information you've heard before. You know, the scholar, the architect, the lovers, etc. Well, you don't necessarily get the whole idea of where things are or anything like that. You do find an odd coded reference, and after a couple of hours of work and trying to go through stuff, you kind of get the idea that these beings, whatever they are, were bound and sort of put into a sort of form of stasis or entrapment somehow, and there may still be a few on the material plane you don't know exactly. Nothing referring directly to the fire plane, although, there's imagery of fires. It's all kind of almost poetically written, as
Oh, okay.
opposed to just a straight, so this happened, then this happened, then this happened. Um, it's almost like this is writing down something that was originally like poetry, as from an oral tradition. So it's kind of hard to decipher exactly, but you get the idea that whatever these beings are, that there are more of them than you've seen, because to the best of your ability, you've seen 2 or 3, maybe, and you're not entirely sure who is what. I don't know, but yeah, they might
Okay.
be out here. There might be more.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yep.
Should probably throw a few apples to Tumo, and yeah, then go probably upstairs and say hi.
Okay.
Tumo.
Yeah. You as you do that, you just see do you just leave Tumo in your room?
I don't care. He can do whatever he wants.
So if anybody sees, do you run? Are you gonna yeah?
Describe
Where are you headed?
Tumo?
Hold
I'm
on.
just going above deck just to see what's going on.
Okay. So you guys see Nyx coming up above deck after reading her book for an hour or so, kind of in the morning after just waking up, and floating apple slowly disappearing, with small bites being taken out of it behind her.
I'm just gonna point from the upper deck, at the apple. What the fuck is that?
What kind of sorcery is this?
Oh, it's it's my new special way of eating now. I don't even have to use my hands. Isn't that neat?
Oh my
Can I
God, roll
insight check
deception.
that?
Yeah, same.
Anyone who wants to insight that, that's fine. Oh
Damn it.
my God.
Savior of the minus.
Okay, so Ta, you're not really. I mean, you're familiar with some of the wizarding ways and stuff like that, but you're not super familiar. So maybe.
I'm just gonna
Who
turn
the
around.
fuck knows?
You know what? I don't even give a shit. I'm gonna go back to the fucking ballista.
And everybody else, you're not entirely sure what's going on, but maybe this is some new way of eating in an arcane sense.
She is a fucking weird one. Whatever.
Yeah.
Are you gonna finish them, or are they just gonna follow you now?
Yeah. I mean, whenever I feel like eating, yeah, I just throw it up in the air, and yeah, you can just punch down on them.
As you
Weird.
guys are talking, the apple is basically down to a core. A few seconds later, it literally just ping gets thrown off the side of the ship.
Isn't that great? I could talk while eating. So cool, huh?
I'm gonna go ahead and poke Nyx's belly and just ask her, well, are you afraid of getting fat or something?
I'm gonna slap Carillion for touching me.
Alright, cool. I guess I'm gonna
I mean,
just
roll an
grab her
attack
hand.
if you want to. Just 1d20 plus dex, I guess. Well, no, it would be strength. It's an unarmed strike, and you are not proficient. All right. Well, that doesn't touch Carillion, but you swing out, and Carillion just sort of does that sort of one step back, and it swings right in front of his face.
Try to hit me with those scrawny ass arms of yours. Alright. I just kind of turn around.
Face. That's it.
What's that?
All she does is just give him a bitch face.
Fair enough. All right.
Anybody needing to head to town? I gotta, or into the market area. I gotta go check on some things.
I'll come with you, sure.
I definitely need to go buy, or at least check out a store with magic items. I got lost the other day.
Sure. Would I be able to carry the two of those light people as a giant eagle?
Yeah, I'd say you could if you wanted to.
Okay. Sure, guys. You
It's
guys.
not that bad of a walk either, but it's up to you.
It's up to you guys. You guys want to fly or want to walk?
Let's go to the Braven map.
I mean, I don't think the thing I need is going to be done till around noon, so I have time. But
Sure. Yeah, actually, I like that. Can you go pretty high up too? Like, can you go in like a really high arc? That would be great.
yeah, I could.
Excellent.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and ask Ta. Hey, when are we planning on leaving today? Or tomorrow?
When the ship is ready, so either end of the day or early tomorrow.
Cool. I hop on Koresh and hop off the ship and then head into the woods to find something to kill. I'll be back later.
As you as you jump
Split the party.
as you jump on Crush and head out, yeah, you get some odd looks of this, Dragonborn paladin riding a guard drake, but the people at the gate just don't really seem to mind letting you right on by and out into the forest. So, all right, that's where you're at. Nyx, Zuzia, and Bramnik are gonna fly out.
Before we head off, do you want to take the time to do that speak with animals thing, so in case anything happens, we can communicate at least while we're flying around?
It takes like 10 minutes to do, man.
We got 10 minutes. We got a lot of time.
Fine. I guess Nyx will do that, and once she's finished, she'll tell Bramnik to keep an eye out for some fucking shady chick with a blue skin and stuff with his little eagle vision.
Okay.
Sure. Shady looking blue chick, right?
Okay.
Got it. Any further description than that, Nyx? I'm just looking for shady blue skinned people. That sounds a little racist.
We deal with racism all the time. I mean, it's common shit. But she's probably covered up. So probably wearing a hood and shit. Probably won't be easy to spot.
All right. Any specific area of the city I should be looking in, or just kind of a general look?
Do I know the area where I last saw her?
You last saw her around south of the arena.
Okay.
Because you guys booked it basically straight out of the arena, and she disappeared somewhere in this area.
Okay, yeah. Then I'll tell him that area if he can like swing by there, just check it out.
So, south of the arena, then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, we can fly by there. Anywhere in particular you need to go besides the magic shop, Susia?
Not that I can think of right now.
Okay. Cool beans. And I'll turn into a giant eagle.
Okay. You guys head on out. No problem.
As soon as they take off and like are far enough that they're not looking back, I'm gonna walk to the market district.
Okay. It'll take you.
Like I'll take the barge or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah. It'll take you about a half an hour to get there, but
yeah,
you can totally do that. Okay, so you're heading out. Birdie, you are left alone on the ship. Is there anything you wish to do?
Yeah. Did I complete the bullets that I was making?
Yeah, you got I think we agreed on about 12 bullets out of that.
Okay.
Over those, or no, 24 bullets over the course of those 2 days working, or no, 12 and 6, because the first day you had to refine all the stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you've made 18 so far.
Actually, since he was with me last time we went out, I'll let Bertie know that I'm heading over there, and like he can come or not, I don't care.
Okay.
Just saying that as I walk past, basically.
Okay. Cool.
Well, that begs the question: are you going to go or not?
No,
Okay, that's fair.
I'm working.
All right, so you're gonna work on stuff. So I guess we'll start with in this case, Corellian. You are out you make it into the woods, and you're just looking for something to kill.
No, like a wild animal or something to feed Koresh with.
Sure. Make me a perception check.
Hey.
All right. Yeah. It seems like any of the larger game, being this is around the city, isn't too close. However, you do see some smaller critters and the like rabbits and that sort of thing around you could chase down yourself.
I kind of take a look at my armor and all that. I'm a big dude, but I'm also wearing a lot of armor.
Well, I mean, Koresh could chase him down too.
Yeah. Sure. I'll just let Koresh have some fun. Go hunt down some rabbits and stuff like that.
All right. So yeah, you tell him that. He sort of looks at you for a second as you sort of jump off for the moment, and then he bolts through the forest, bounding through everything, literally bouncing off of trees, attempting to catch these rabbits, which are, I mean, they're pretty fast. He does okay. After probably, we'll say, 45 minutes of hunting, he comes back with 3 decent-sized rabbits for a snack.
Cool. I guess we'll continue heading slightly deeper into the forest. I don't want to go too far, but still want to find something of decent size.
Okay. After a bit, you would probably see some kind of deer or elk in there, and could potentially go after that. It's been probably an hour and a half at this point.
Oh yeah. Cool. I will tell Koresh to kind of get into a nice starting position, get ready to chase these things down, and chuck some javelins at him.
Oh, okay. So roll an attack.
Hey-o!
Okay. So as you tell Koresh to go, having being just out of range for the most part, and they're not really noticing you right away. And you chuck a javelin, managing to, well, it doesn't do a huge amount of damage. It manages to pierce the flank and graze some of the muscles, sort of putting a little bit of a limp onto the stag itself. As that happens, of course, all of the deer there run, and Koresh goes bounding after it, and we'll see how well that turns out in the end. But odds are, with an injured stag, Koresh can manage.
Yeah. I tell him not to mess up the fur too bad, just to snap his neck or something.
Okay. Meanwhile, so Ta, you're wandering through the city. Is there anything you want to do on the way there?
Yeah, on the way there, I wanted to see if, because I'm just sort of slowly ambling towards that magic shop, but I wanted to see if I could find a place that would sell a spyglass and an armor stand. Like nothing fancy, just a functional one.
Okay. Spyglass and armor stand. You do see kind of an outfitting shop. It seems to be or not so much an outfitting shop as a how would I say it? Almost like a furniture store. For plenty of odds and ends like that. You could probably find an armor stand that's serviceable, not like super amazing, but it'll it looks pretty robust. It'll actually hold your armor, which is saying something in and of itself. The merchant there would ask you for considering its workmanship and all. Actually, he's got two. One would be a kind of the baseline, 5 gold, just robustly built. Has a couple of like bolts for the bottoms, so that you could literally bolt it to something if you wanted to. And then there is a more ornate one, costing let's see, 27 gold. It has sort of a silver inlay across it, with these sort of ornate patterns of leaves and almost looks like maybe moving wind or flowing water. You're not really sure exactly what the symbolism is.
Yeah, I'll take the simple one.
Simple one. Okay, 5 gold. He he goes, pulls it up off the back. Now it's not quite as tall as you, but it's not small. I mean, it's the size of an average person, and sort of looks at you and says, "Are you gonna carry it yourself?"
Yep.
Okay, here you go.
I'll just grab it.
All right. You also find an adventuring shop, or rather a shipwrights shop sort of thing. Selling average stuff for any seagoing expedition. They have spyglasses there. They're not cheap. The cheapest one that you see is 800 gold.
Ooh, 800 gold?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well, never mind.
Okay.
I was thinking like maybe 20 max.
No.
All
They
right.
let you see several miles ahead with perfect clarity. Yeah.
Alright. Alright, then I will continue towards the magic shop.
Okay, you're on your way. Meanwhile, Bramnik and Zuzia and Nyx flying on Bramnik as a giant eagle. What's your first stop?
Hey, Nix, are you wanting to swoop by there first, kind of make a little loop, or what do you want? Or
Yeah, since we're already in the air, let's go for it.
or I guess I'd be like caw, and she'd be saying that. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Zuzia, you just hear you just hear Nyx say what Nyx says, and then bird noises in return. None of it makes any sense to you. But you guys swing out over Harbor Way.
And I'll fly probably 15, 20 feet above like the tallest buildings in the area.
Okay.
That way,
Yeah,
I'm
so you're
pretty
not
close to
that
the
high
ground.
up, but yeah,
Yeah.
you're sort of doing a low pass. Lots of people sort of looking at this giant freaking eagle flying overhead with 2 people on it. But yeah, give me a perception check, I suppose.
Yeah.
One of you
My
guys can do
keen
that.
sight.
Yep.
And, so
Okay. You don't see any. You see a couple of like cloaked and hooded figures. It's a little bit colder out today. It's not unheard of or too weird. Nobody with blue skin that you can see, or anything weird along those lines. You would have seen the sword she was carrying as well. You got a look at her at least.
right. I'll
And you
make
don't
a
recognize
pass.
that weapon or anything.
I'll make a pass like back towards the arena and over it, and then towards the.
Yeah, as you're looking
Sure.
around, you do see some individuals. You see a couple of what you might call gladiators or strong men walking the streets, headed towards the arena. You don't see the hunter's mark individuals from earlier. It seems that they're if they're anywhere, they're not here. You do also see, a couple of street workers, tradesmen, that sort of thing. Nothing really jumps out at you. It seems, to the best of your knowledge, or of your understanding, is that if she's in the city, she is not where you guys saw her last. Wanting to not be seen for whatever reason.
Uh, hey Nix, I'm not seeing any blue skin ladies in cloaks. She's maybe either in hiding or just in another part of the city altogether.
Did you see any weird symbols like I don't know, like a screaming face looking thing?
Did I see any screaming face looking things?
Yeah, it would be like, I don't know, on like a wall or like just anywhere. Did you see anything like that?
DM, did I see anything like that?
You did not see any screaming faces or anything quite along those lines. At least not in a place that you could see flying above or anything along those lines.
Okay.
Nothing really jumped out at you. It all seemed, I mean, somewhat busy despite the cold weather, but not, yeah, no screaming faces.
Nope, no screaming faces. I mean, if you wanted me to look for those.
No, we're good. We're done here. Thank you for bringing me around.
Can you ask Susie if she's still interested in going to the theater?
Zuzia, did you want to go to the theater?
Oh yeah, we should see if there's any shows. That sounds like a fun little adventure.
Well, you guys can go if you want. I don't think they serve drinks there, so I don't really want to go.
Okay. So
How did Bramnick the alcoholic turn into the stable person and Nix became the alcoholic? Anyway.
Cause I can understand her. So
Yes. Yeah, you can understand, you just can't respond.
I'll make my way there. I'll tell Nix. So I guess we'll check on the theater, see if they have a show this morning that we can kill time until the afternoon. I'll just drop you off to your own devices.
Well, you do still have the magic shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, let's do the magic
it's the one
shop
on the
first,
fast
and then
street
you can
to the
do the
street, yeah.
theater.
Yeah. We'll go to the magic shop first, and then Susie and I can hit the theater.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So,
Okay.
yeah, you landed the magic shop. It's the same kind of hole-in-the-wall place. There's quite a few different knickknacks. There's a half-elven gentleman in the background, or in the back, sort of rummaging through things, putting up new stock, considering that you guys just bought out a decent amount of his stuff. Doesn't seem to notice you when you walk in.
Is Tumo with me right now?
If you want Tumo to be with you, Tumo can be with you, yeah.
I'd tell him to go look in the back room and see if there's anything cool.
Okay, give me an investigation check for Tumo. This is gonna be weird.
Oh shit! All right.
As he sort of buzzes through the half-open door to the back stock room, or what appears to be the back stock room, anyway.
Wait.
Intelligence.
Oh, this is weird. It's not
Just
like a.
intelligence check.
Okay.
Yep. Well, glad it wasn't the second one. But yeah, that was pretty good. Looking through, Tumo sort of reports back that there are a lot of workbenches, a lot of things that look half finished, but not a whole lot in the back room. There are, however, a bunch of empty boxes. It almost looks like the guy kind of fakes that, like he has a ton of stock, or he has a whole bunch of boxes from stock that he just hasn't gotten rid of. He's either a pack rat or attempting to be a shrewd businessman.
Okay. I guess I'll just tell Tumo to check out a couple of the boxes.
Yeah, going through, there's the medieval equivalent of packing peanuts in a lot of them, and virtually nothing else. Seems like most of them are pretty empty.
Okay. All right. I'll just tell him to come back then.
All right. At this point, the half-elven gentleman walks out. How may I help you?
Draffy, that's your cue.
Sorry,
Oh,
I was
this is
messaging
muted.
someone.
Okay, no worries.
Someone asked me to play a game with them.
We're already playing a game.
I
Do you want to play a game?
am.
Oh God, we're not doing Saw.
No. So the guy just asked us what we wanted.
Yeah. Is there anything you're looking for?
Yeah. I was wondering if you have any cloaks or boots in stock.
We're a little low on cloaks, but there are a set of boots here. Yes. He sort of pulls a set of well kept sort of greenish brown leather boots off of a shelf with sort of this leaf pattern on them, and sets them on the counter in front of him. These would be boots of elven kind. So yeah, he sort of looks to you and says, "This is about all we have in stock at the moment."
How much are you wanting for that?
Boots of elven kind, this would run, on average, around 300 gold.
Oh, all right. Well, that's good to know. All right. Thanks.
He just sort of looks at you like, right, okay, and slowly takes them off the counter and starts to put them back. Is there anything else I could help you with?
Since you said you don't have any cloaks, I guess not.
Terribly sorry. If I get any more stock, I'll be sure to hold. No, I won't. If somebody comes in to buy something, I'm going to sell it, but check back perhaps in a couple of days. I might have something more.
Okay, thanks.
All right. At this point, Birdie, you hear clamoring, clacking of Declan working on the hull. What are you working on?
I'll try and make some moon clips.
Okay. How much material do you have left over? Let's see. After burning down, you're gonna make lead moon clips?
No, I was gonna. I'll go talk to the ship guys, see if maybe they don't have any nails or something that
Okay.
they can't use.
Yeah, they would probably Declan would probably you say that Declan would look at you and goes 10 gold.
Really?
Yeah. Promise it'll be all you need.
I don't have 10 gold.
He looks at you and goes, "You know what? You're doing me a favor? I'll do this favor for you." He literally just sort of skips off the ship and to the sort of, it's sort of odd, but he's literally just booking it back to the dock, where he literally pulls the nails, several like nails that he sort of stripped out of both your ship and several other merchant ships that have come through, and brings back this like almost a bucket, like a gallon bucket full of these sort of like fucked up nails. It sets them down and goes, "There you go. That's what I got."
Okay, so what kind of favor? Would you ask of me?
Well, you're taking me to Kiyokrati, right?
Yeah.
Well, you can help me out a little bit. I just want good food on the way. That's all I
Oh.
ask.
That can be arranged.
All right. Good enough.
Awesome. Thank you.
Let's see.
This will help in my evil plans.
Yes, that's the one. All right. And at that point, you see there's a half-orc individual working on sort of the main beam there that runs across the deck of the ship to support it, and a sort of he calls out to the other individual who's up on top of the up on deck as he's now in the main area with you. Tagus, get down here. And with that, Thunder, if you would like to describe your character as you are being called by your friend Declan.
Thunder.
There
we go.
Unmute yourself.
Okay, microphone was being weird. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hey.
So yeah, as you go down, as he calls for this Tagus guy, you see a fairly young, fairly short, especially for your sort of stature, kid rush down from wherever he was sort of hanging out, occupying himself, with rather long blonde hair, sort of a yellowish jacket with straps that are meant to hold daggers, tools, items of interest, anything. He has a cloth belt adorned with sort of symbols that appear to be religious, boots made for adventuring, and seem to have taken their fair share of a beating. This guy looks like an adventurer, in the pure sense of the word, although you notice he doesn't really have a weapon on him. He has a few daggers, but he doesn't seem to have a sword or anything. But he runs down nonetheless, goes up to Declan and says, "Yes, yeah, hey."
Right. I'm going to need you to run back to the shop and pick up some of my stuff. I don't know when these guys are leaving, but they're taking me, and I believe you wanted to speak to them about, well, that thing.
Yes, I definitely did. Would you be one of the people? As I sort of turn to...
Yeah. Think.
Cool. Do you have a name? Well, I mean, you obviously have it. What's your name?
People call me Birdie. Mostly because it's just easier that way.
Cool. Hi, I'm Tagus. And he'll sort of walk up to you and throw his hand out to shake.
You're a weird one.
I've been called that quite a bit.
Nice to meet you.
And you too. So, you're going to Kiyokrati?
Yes.
Well,
Sometime.
yeah, just so happens I happen to be from there, and I happen to be wanting to go back as of recent. So, if you could maybe help me in that endeavor, I would be very grateful.
At this exact moment, you hear Declan, who is currently sort of going over designs, that he's written or drawn out for fixing your ship, shouts, "He's a good guy, shit worker, but a good guy."
Guilty as charged.
Hmm?
On both accounts, I would like to say.
I can't make any decisions. Really.
Like, physically or just emotionally?
A bit of both.
That's ridiculously fitting.
I'll bring it up to the rest of the crew.
That would
Somehow, I
help
don't think there
tremendously.
would be too much of an issue.
Cool. Yeah.
At this point, Declan sort of calls out again. He's got to be my bodyguard. You're gonna have to bring him along, or I don't know. Tagus, talk to the big guy. You'll know him when you see him.
Yep.
Big guy. I assume you don't mean normal big. You mean yeah. I will see him when I find him. You're right.
Yeah, you won't be able to miss him.
Good to know.
Now, I did tell you to go and get my stuff. So
Right,
you should-
stuff.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. And then he dashes off towards wherever the stuff is allocated.
Yeah, over in the harbor master's area.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you see this, this essentially kid just run full tilt straight off the docks towards wherever it was that he was supposed to go.
I've just got this look of like, wow, on my face as I look at Declan and shake my head.
However, you do have a giant bucket of nails now.
Yes, I do.
So, what do you want to... You want to start melting those down or whatever?
Yeah.
Trying to purify them? Okay. You can... where do you have your forge set up right now? Your little mini forge?
In my room.
Okay.
You have a fucking mini forge in your room.
Yeah.
On a
Really
wooden
tiny.
You
ship.
have a mini forge on a wooden ship.
Oh my
This is gonna
god.
go great.
Where is the smoke going?
Yeah.
Out the window.
I mean, you guys
There's
have
no
windows.
window.
There's
Oh,
no
I didn't know
windows in
that.
the room.
Are you hotboxing yourself?
Oh.
Are you dying from carbon monoxide poisoning?
That doesn't exist here.
Yeah.
It's still
Monoxide
smoke
poisoning.
inhalation.
All right. Well, you can start working on that. You might have a constitution check or two since you're melting down not so pure stuff.
Okay.
But we'll see. We'll say you get to work on that. You're really only able to get maybe like a fourth of the nails into the crucible at a time
Yeah.
to start melting them down. But you can start doing that. Start that process. No problem. Okay. Meanwhile, everybody else, where do you want to be? What do you want to do?
wanna
What time is
ask-
it?
At this point, I'd say it's getting into the late morning, early afternoonish.
How many more elk or deer have I been able to hunt?
Okay, yeah. So at this point, I need you to make me a athletics check for Koresh.
Oh wait, hold on.
Strength.
No. He's +7. Okay. Wait.
Okay. Well, I mean, it was a
Or
natty
horses are
one.
proficient in athletics.
That was mine. That was
Yeah. Yeah. So,
wait.
unfortunately, Koresh goes careening through there.
That
and
was my
he-
athletics roll for me. Not
Yeah, I'm just taking 3 away. He still rolled on that one. On that one. However, you will find another stag a little while later, but the one that you managed to spear did manage to get away, unfortunately, as it turned a corner into almost a wall of trees, and Koresh tried to turn the corner a little tighter, got himself wedged between 2 trees, and you had to go and literally fish him out of between these trees.
No.
Takes you. He wasn't happy. It took a good solid, 15, 20 minutes to get him out. You had to resort to essentially getting some mud around and basically greasing your guard drake up to get him through. It's like buttering a hallway for a fat person. I mean, that's essentially what you just did.
Oh.
So, however, dignity destroyed, and still kind of hungry. You guys do manage to find another stag, and after another, say, probably with your stealth rating and everything, I'd say if you were going to be smart about it, about 30 minutes or so of slowly stocking up on it and sticking Koresh on him on the last minute. At the last minute, you guys managed to pull in a pretty decent size deer. Some good venison. And Koresh seems, well, not completely restored of dignity. At least he's got a full belly and is happy now.
I kind of want to track down that previous stag.
Give me a survival check.
Rip.
Oh,
No.
holy fuck! I'm gonna turn advantage off. Wow.
You cannot seem to find the tracks.
All right, I kind of
That
just
would
pat him
indicate
on
that
the.
one.
I pat him on the flank and say, "All right, let's go home."
Okay. You guys start your trek back. All right, yeah, no problem. Yeah, you guys start heading back and are. I mean, it's a nice enough day. It's a little chilly, but it's not too bad. And there was good food for Crash, and he's happy. Although a little bit full, and if you try to ride him at all, he sort of seems to whine a little bit as he's waiting for his food to settle. And you guys start making your way back. You're probably at this point like an hour and a half outside of town by just walking. You've ventured pretty far. So.
Yep.
All right. Meanwhile, everybody else, is there anything you guys want to do in town today? You're gonna.
Susie, what were you looking for in particular at the magic shop?
Oh, just, a couple different items, but it's not necessary yet. If we come across another store sometime, I wouldn't mind stopping in and seeing what they carry.
But nothing in particular?
I mean, I'll know it when I see it.
Oh, okay. Well, do you want to head to the theater? I think we
Yeah.
still have time.
Yeah, definitely.
For a short show, maybe.
Yeah, we could peek in, see what they have going on around there. There may be some good people watching at least.
Yeah, and we can swing by the leather worker afterwards.
Cool.
Okay, so you guys head over there, Ta. At this point, as they're leaving, you see them come out of the magic shop as you manage to get there.
Okay. I turn around and go find supplies.
Okay.
I was literally just making sure that they didn't get hauled off to jail or prison or something.
Okay, that's fair. Actually, yeah, that's perfectly fair. Meanwhile, the rest of you head down to the theater, which is pretty much just across the street, and you notice that today is a night off for their sort of new show. However, the best that they've got for sort of an afternoon thing is an improv comedy gig. If that, yeah.
Is it like open mic night type deal? They just got random people.
Kinda. There seems to be it seems to be open mic night for the most part, except at the end of the evening, sort of to cap off the show, is 2 Men and a Half Elf, which is supposedly some sort of improv group.
Is it something that we can pop in and out of, or is it a ticket for the whole night?
There's a mandatory drink minimum if you go in.
I'm okay with that. But there's no ticket price. You just have to drink.
No, it's sit down sort of thing. If you're gonna stick around for the NCAP sort of show, then it's gonna be there's a.
But that's only tonight.
charge.
Like nothing this morning. Well, let me ask Ta. I'm gonna pull out the Rocky Talkie. Hey Ta. Are we leaving this afternoon or today? What do you know?
Whenever the ship's ready, so later today, probably.
Okay. Is the improv stuff going on right now?
Yeah, there's a couple of terrible performers at the moment, including a gnome playing a lute terribly. with some, with a halfling doing spoken word slam poetry behind it.
Right.
I'm going to say that we peeked our head in and saw that and both look at each other, and I'm just shaking my head.
Yeah, I'm under the same impression. Yeah.
You get an idea that the mandatory drink minimum is almost a
Helps.
requirement to watch some of this.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll swing back by another day, and be able to check a real show. I'd
Okay.
be interested in that. So.
Cool.
Okay, and yeah, you could restock your food supplies for the whole crew, and extra. I'd say 10 gold.
Okay.
You could easily do that, including if you wanted to sort of getting some fresh fruit and veg or meat to put in the cauldron of colding, the refrigerator type thing you guys have.
Wait, doesn't
Yeah,
Birdie
I'd do that and then head back to the ship with it.
Okay.
doesn't Birdie have a Rocky Talkie?
I think
Yes.
Birdie has one, Ta has one, Bramnick has one, and I think Corellian or
No, I definitely don't. Millet has one.
Melee had Melee
Melee
had one.
share. Yeah.
Ah.
Melee does not have one anymore.
If I'm out and about, I take it. Otherwise, I leave it with her.
Yeah. And I think the last one was just up for grabs. I know Nyx doesn't have it because she won't have it. Refuses. Despite Morden being the one to make it.
And I probably won't have one till Ta approves of me having one, so. Never.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a Rocky Talkie.
For the purposes of this, you managed to pick up your armor. It's ready. It's ready around 3 o'clock. The rest of you kind of get your business done. Birdie, you managed to melt down and purify the first fourth of the metal after a really, really annoying process of literally melting it down, letting it harden slightly, beating out all the impurities, and then reforging it over and over and over, trying to get all this nastiness off the nails. But you now have, after purifying it and everything, I'd say you have about a pound and a half. No, sorry, it'll be. You have a bit. I'd say probably a slab about an inch thick, and about 4 inches on a side, for a square. So
That's actually pretty hefty.
yeah, that's
Yep.
pretty good. The nails
Iron?
they use for shipbuilding, of iron. The nails they use for shipbuilding are pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're less nails and more like stakes, for a better, for the best way to put it. But as you guys all sort of slowly filter back towards the ship, yeah.
Just kind of looking over the armor. I asked the guy, is it more protective than what I currently have besides the resistance, or
It seems to be just a regular set of hide armor with acid resistance.
So
yeah.
I'll just make a note that I now have acid resistance.
Okay. At this point, Tagus, you spent a while digging through all of Declan's stuff, eventually finding kind of his to-go bag underneath absolute piles of different design papers and invoices and stuff that you'd rather not deal with. But you do manage to find his sort of to-go suitcase and start running back towards the ship proper. You'd arrive about the time that, or before everyone else. He sort of gives you a couple of odd jobs to just run and fetch him, little bits and pieces to help the building process as the half orc bangs away and replaces deck pieces and the like. You'd probably see, considering, I'd say you'd see end up seeing a large man covered head to toe in plate mail first, carrying what seems to be a large armor stand, as well as like weeks worth of provisions.
Easily.
Somehow managing to juggle it all without any
One
real
trip.
effort. Yeah, the one trip king.
Yeah. Yeah. Tagus will sort of get off. He's probably like at this point in the day, getting a little lazy, just sitting on the deck or on a desk, like mage handing over what he needs, what Declan needs. But
Yeah.
as soon as he sees this guy, he immediately springs from his place, his comfortable place on the desk, and runs over and says, "Hi there. You must be the big guy who, your friend Birdie, I think. Maybe your friend? Probably your friend. Talked about, right?
Friend is a bit strong. Who are you?
Fair enough. Hi, name's Tagus." And I will stick my hand out to shake, and then realizing probably don't have enough hand space, will
No. His
pull it.
despite him being able to hold all this stuff effortlessly, he does not currently have a free hand. No.
Yeah, so I put my hand out initially, realize you don't have a hand free, pull it back and say, "We'll do that later. For now, I was, hoping you wouldn't mind if I went along with your little trip back to, Kiokrati."
Who are you?
Hi, I'm Tagus. Tagus Neriel.
Yeah. Why are you on? Why are you on my ship?
Well, I am a cleric on pilgrimage, and I need a way home fast, like now. And Declan, good friend Declan, said that you wouldn't mind having an extra passenger, especially since I'll be his bodyguard. It. Please.
Oh, Declan.
Please.
Well, you should have led with that. You're his bodyguard?
More or less.
I like the thought of Tal looking at this tiny individual. like
Like he
you're
could do a better
bodyguard.
job.
He's not tiny, he's human sized, but he's 5'9". He's not particularly tall.
Okay.
Yeah, and you would actually notice several patches from some merc guilds that you might have come across in your travels. Is it on your belt? If I
Yeah.
remember right, Ta?
Oh, me? On my belt? I thought you were
the
talking about his.
patches. No, on yours.
Yeah, well, I wear a sash that has the first Merc guild that I was in, that emblem,
Right.
but then I have like others, like I don't know, stuffed in a pouch somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, so you might recognize a merc guild there, and you might also you might recognize maybe a merc guild here and there, some sort of affiliate emblem on Tagus.
Sure, you can come, but if you're gonna eat, you're gonna work.
Yes. Wait, what? Yeah, fine. We'll work that out later. Yes.
Wait,
Alright.
oh,
We'll be
shit.
leaving as soon as the ship's ready.
Cool. Hey, Declan, when's the ship going to be ready?
Oh, 2 hours, 3 hours, somewhere around there. We got all the plating in for the most part. We gotta plug the hole in the deck above, and then just seal it all. Make sure it's all good. Should be fine.
Perfect. Do you still need my help?
He just sort of looks at you for a moment, like, okay, yeah, no, go do whatever you need to do. Be back here before we leave if you want to come with.
Will do.
All right.
At this point, do I arrive yet?
Yeah. At this point, I'd say the rest of you kind of have all kind of joined up on the docks and are coming back to the ship and kind of get there as this conversation ends with between Declan and Tagus.
Yeah, I'm gonna go put the armor stand in my room and then start like stowing all the food in the various
Okay.
places we can put it.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll go ahead. Just hey, Bramnick, what have you guys been up to all day?
Well, Nyx asked me to help search for some shady blue skin chick. And then we thought about going to the theater, but it was terrible, so we decided not to. And then I got my new armor. Look, check it out. And I hold it out because I probably haven't had time to put it on yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, isn't that Drakon hide we got off? That
Yeah.
didn't that leatherworker say it was like acid resistant?
Yeah, it's naturally acid because it came from the Draken. But
I just kind of like tap my scales like, oh, acid resistance, huh?
Oh no.
yeah, it's acid resistant. So that's a thing now that I have, and I'll kind of stow it away.
And this blue skin lady wouldn't happen to be the one from the arena that Birdie fought, right?
Oh, Birdie fought a blue-skinned lady?
Yeah, that was.
I didn't get a good look at her.
Yeah, that was the
when they were
lady at
fighting.
the arena. She had this weird marking on her face too. Looked like an eye or something. I don't know. It was on her cheek.
I don't remember.
I'll just like I'll look over past Bramnick. Well, I'll just look past Bramnick and look at Nyx. It's like, so is it the blue skin chick with like this weird sword and the like cloak and shit?
Wait, Birdie fought her?
Yeah, beat her too.
I thought Birdie.
Nope.
No.
No, Birdie got
Wait.
eaten
Hold on.
alive.
Yeah,
Birdie
got
Nick's
destroyed.
just like
She looked
stops
pretty
for a
hurt.
second and like thinks about this, and she's like, Birdie got his ass kicked, didn't he?
It was pretty close. He was hitting her from pretty far away with that damn rifle of his.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like her. I wanna kill her.
Oh,
Huh.
why?
What happened? She just kind of left the arena and we heard a bit of a ruckus and then it was like... We heard this screaming.
I
Was
saw
that
her
you?
outside the arena. Yeah.
Huh.
She got away from me, but yeah, she kind of murdered the only person that I really considered family. He kind of like took me in and shit, and yeah, she straight up killed him. So I'm gonna take her life.
It's a blood feud. Okay, I can get behind that. All right.
I mean, she should be in fucking jail right now. I don't understand how she's out, but
Well, if we ever see her, I'll be happy to help you kill her. It'd be really hard
Yeah.
though. She looked really tough.
yeah, that's kind of why I'm mentioning this. I mean, I've never been. She's always been stronger than me, but we used to do work together, and she's fucking nuts. I mean, she's like got this cool, collected demeanor about her, but she's just fucking wrong. Like, I look like a saint compared to this bitch. Just think
That's
about
saying
that for a
something.
second.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
insight check that.
You hear distant
Okay,
laughing
yeah, go
coming
ahead.
from like the storage
Yeah,
room.
I'm also on that boat of I want to insight check that.
Yeah, sure. Make a persuasion roll, I suppose. Busty. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, apparently, no matter how bad you think Nyx is, this chick is 1,000 times worse as far as you can tell. At least from what Nyx is telling you.
Oh.
What is it
That
with
seems pretty hard to do, but I guess, man, it must be that bad then.
what is it with us coming across blue-skinned ladies that are just fucking evil?
I know, right?
think
What about
back
that?
to
That's so
Selenum.
serious. Yeah, there we go.
Yes, that Selenum lady, she was blue-skinned, and now you got a blue-skinned murderer friend that you used to work with.
Next thing you know, we're going to chase down a blue-skinned tiefling or something.
Oh.
Nope, just this one. That's it.
And I guess I'll finally notice Susie because she likes to hide in the shadows so much. So what did you do?
I've just been hanging out with Bramnick.
Yeah, we're kind of getting along. We got a lot of similar interests.
I'm gonna insight check the fuck out of that.
Okay.
And I'm telling the truth. As far as I'm concerned, as far as Bramnick's concerned, he's like, I'm making a new friend.
Yeah. As far as you
Snake
know,
Lady, Yuan-Ti, and
Yeah.
Smelly Dwarf.
they seem to be getting along, as far
Okay.
as you can tell.
Perfect fit.
They both like the underground. I mean, right? I mean, dwarves like go and mine underground.
I'm not
Except
okay with
Bramnick,
this.
he's
I'm not
Except
comfortable
Bramnick
with it,
underground.
but I'll
Yeah.
accept
Well, like
it.
his like, it's our like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I know.
history. Even if he's not done it personally.
Oh, so
Bramnick is the most
Technically,
fucked
I'm
up
from
of
Hill
dwarves.
Dwarf, so I came from Hill Dwarf, so we weren't really.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's not just that. You kind of went nuts at an early age. So,
Yeah.
Well, at least you're not a
Nobody knows
gully
about my
dwarf.
background much.
you guys.
so as you guys are, speaking and sort of climb onto the ship, you don't see Ta. You do see a half orc, sort of basically now working on the actual deck plating.
I give
So
him a
there's
head
no
nod.
hole for you guys to fall through. Declan sort of standing there overseeing and moving little bits and pieces to try to make every piece of wood fit in the right places. And a somewhat shortish humanoid or human-looking person, who, well, I suppose it's really up to you what you're planning to do at this point.
I suppose at this point, yeah, Tagus would be probably sitting cross-legged on a desk somewhere, looking through a book that appears to have the holy symbol of Bahamut on the back.
Which, actually, considering you guys were in Dragon's Mouth, most of you would probably recognize that. It's a dragon's head in profile, sort of silver platinum, in nature.
I'll just call Crush to jump up on the deck of the ship, and do I see the book he's reading?
I don't think you're hiding it, Tagus. Suppose you could be.
Literally 5 seconds. Super sorry about that.
No worries. Actually, at this point, if you guys want to, we can take a couple minutes break before you guys head off to on your journey, and we'll pick up here in like 3 minutes or so.
Cool. I have a
Sure.
technical question, unless you're taking off
Sure.
for a short break too.
Uh,
All of my armor and stuff so far have been getting engraved. What with it having natural acid resistance, would I be able to like maybe acid burn a symbol into it without?
it would take a lot of acid to do it. With that resistance, you're not going to make anywhere near as much headway.
All right, be right back.
With acid. You could potentially use a
Fire
hot
brand.
poker or something like that and burn out a symbol or something like that if you wanted to.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna quickly go refill my drink so that my throat doesn't die today, and we'll get going again in just a minute. However, you guys do have a week and a half of journeying, which I will be montaging heavily because you guys are flying well above the clouds at this, from what I understand. So think on if there's any projects you want to do during that time, we'll knock those out.
Hey, Birdie. Oh, actually, you're probably in your room, aren't you, Birdie? Oh, he probably AFK as well. Do. shit. I forgot to add my dwarven toughness to my HP when we leveled.
Right. Very sorry for that.
It's okay. We're taking a quick bio.
Okay.
So if you got anything to do.
So I don't know if this game is random encounters. What's the likelihood of us being attacked in the air?
I feel like every time we've been in the air, we've been attacked.
Yep.
Good to know.
Yeah, it'll be. I feel like I should have found a better place for my fucking planter box because on the top deck wasn't good. I can't remember, but did Raven say that I got that fixed and was able to shore it up again and replant what I needed to?
I think so.
I think he said with the help of like you or Curly and hammering stuff in for me, I could get it done. Ty, after we, oh yeah, you rolled a 1, didn't you, for your health?
Mm-hmm.
So what's that put you up to?
82.
What's your con though?
2.
Oh shit, son. I rolled a 2. Oh no, I did add it. Okay, never mind. So I'm at 86. Yeah, I rolled a 2. My other campaign that I just joined, starting at level 8, I rolled a total of 47 health.
Jeez.
Yeah. But I am a Hexblade Kensai monk, so I have abilities to gain temporary hit points when I kill things, so it kind of evens out a little bit. That, and I get like fucking 5 attacks per round. So yeah, the hunter rogue that's also in the group has like 115 health. So I'm feeling pretty squishy. Birdie, are you back?
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thanks. So, yeah, you would see a bunch of individuals. They would, actually, yeah, looking around, you're gonna see a Dragonborn in full plate with a giant fucking guard drake, with him. A sort of odd dwarf wearing mostly leather with a whip on his waist.
And a battle axe. Oh my
yeah.
fucking...
A fire genasi, which might be the first time you've ever actually seen one, as they're pretty rare most of the time. And a figure kind of in shadow. On closer inspection, you'd see sort of reptilian eyes. But that's about all you would really make out underneath their hood.
I look up, and like the sort of bored, concentrated look I have in my face instantly turns to a smile, and Tagus will just blurt out, "Oh my god, you all look so cool! Can I pet him?" As I turn to the guy with the Guardian Drake.
Did I see the cover of his book?
Yeah, you guys would have seen it. I don't think he's hiding it or anything.
No. Out in the open book.
Kind of just point at him and ask him, "Do you worship Bahamut?"
Oh yeah, Bahamut and Torm. On my mother's side.
Alright. I just walk up to him and just hold my hand out. Carillion.
Tagus. And he does sort of a two-finger salute. But, and you are? As he jumps off the table, puts his book back in his bag. As he sort of faces the rest of the group.
Wait, who are you? Why are you here?
Name's Tagus. Tagus Nariel. A friend of the shipwright, Declan. I'm sure you've met.
Yeah.
Tagus is tagging along.
Met Declan.
Huh.
Declan, you vouch for this guy?
Yeah, he's alright.
He's just a worshiper Bahamut, he's alright.
Good enough for me. I'm Bramnick. I'll stick my hand out.
Yeah, the smelly one.
I'd shake it. With 2 hands.
As this particular handshake is happening, Bramnick, you are pelted in the side of the face by a druid crafted basically paper airplane that looks like a bird.
Mother.
You can see something up the stairway up to the bridge is the small dryad laughing hysterically.
I
She
look at
has
Melee
managed
and
to-
Melee?
and clap.
Melee, get over here. Come here.
Wait, and then I want to, like, very carefully pry the paper bird out from your visor.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be Bramnick.
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's-
Like I said, I'm Carillion. That's
I
the
don't
short
have
one is
help.
Bramnick. The firehead one is Nyx, and the shifty-eyed, snaky one is that one's Zuzia. She's still kind of
I
on track.
go over to Bramnick, pull the paper airplane out of his visor. Hi there, how are you? Put my hand out and
I'd
shake.
Be better without druid craft. Melee, get over here.
she's giggling, slowly walks down towards you.
We've got a new guest. Say hi.
So yeah, Tagus, you see this this small, almost child, probably around 3 foot tall, covered in vines, not really wearing clothes. You might recognize this as a dryad if you've run into one, but a very young one at that. And she just sort of like waves to you, doesn't really say anything. But you get the idea that she's maybe a little bit of a troublemaker sometimes.
After she greets him, I'm proud of you. You're getting better at your druid craft, but you're gonna poke somebody's eye out.
She
Hello
sort
there.
of looks up at you and gives you puppy dog eyes.
It's all right. You didn't hurt me. Just be careful.
And what was your name again?
Her name is Melee.
Well, Melee, I think we're going to be fast friends.
Not so fast.
She's a little ornery. Yeah.
She sort of hugs your leg and then basically turns around to go back up to the bridge for the moment.
I want to. Well, I'll do it later. Never mind.
So after I'm done stocking up food stuff, as I'm walking by Birdie's room, would I hear or smell anything as I'm going by?
Yes.
You would smell almost like a thin layer. You would actually, yeah, you would hear some banging noises here and there, and at the top of the door, there's a thin layer of kind of acrid smoke coming from it, like this sort of white acrid smoke.
I'm just gonna like freeze as I'm walking past and like just take this in for a second. Birdie,
What?
what the hell is going on in there?
I'm making stuff.
Uh, I'm gonna just open the door. I'm not even gonna fucking knock. I'm gonna open the door.
As you open the door, there's about a 2 foot thick from the ceiling, just cloud of smoke that then sweeps into the hallway and out. The hole that the half orc and Declan are working on, and towards the stairway, you see Birdie sitting at his workbench with a small, what looks like ceramic kind of forge and a crucible, fucking around with various bits of metal.
I'm just gonna stand there, just.
Oh my
fucking
god,
dumbstruck.
jeez, I'm not decent. Come on.
Is that a fucking forge?
It is really hot in your room, Birdie. Like really hot right now. So
you know the ship is wood, right?
Do I hear Ta yelling?
Yeah.
you probably heard you can't make out any actual words, but you probably hear Ta exclaiming something.
I'll be right back, and I head downstairs.
I'll point over my shoulder towards the foot of my bed and by the door. Bucket of water.
All right. And then I close the door and fucking walk away.
So, Krillian, as you walk down, you see Ta closing the door. The hallway has a thin, 6-inch film of smoke through the entire hallway.
What the fuck? Are we on fire?
Did someone say fire? I'll run down.
What?
Nope.
Where did this smoke come from? Ta.
I didn't do it.
Fire again? It's only been like a week, hasn't it?
Nope.
You guys are crazy.
And it
Nope,
wasn't
I'm gonna
Nick's
start
this
walking
time.
away towards the back of the.
Oh, alright, I'll
Ta,
just
what's happening?
I'll walk past
Ta.
Ta and towards like where he just closed the
That's
door.
gonna be tough, dude. We're both big guys.
Yeah, you guys are trying to like.
We
move
both get
around
jammed in the
each other.
hallway.
You have to open one door. One of you has to step into the door so that the other one can get around. Yeah.
Where's the butter?
I'm preparing a create water spell just in case there's a.
Yeah, Brandon, good idea. Come with me. And
Uh,
I'll just open Birdie's door.
is there a fire in here? What's going
Let's-
on?
Jesus.
We're back up to the
Technically,
helms.
it's
In the name of Zorkon, what are you doing with the fire on our ship? Is that a forge?
A perception check?
No, Krillian, give me a perception check because you're the closest. You're the one that can actually see in the room.
Oh god.
Oh my
All
god.
you see is the flame in the forge. That's it.
What the
You see
fuck?
smoke?
Bramnick, put it out!
Birdie hunched over a desk of
Get
some
out of the
kind
way.
and fire on the desk.
Get out of the way. Let me see what's happening.
Just put the fire on. Just put the water on the fire. Jesus.
If you
I'm-
douse
I'm-
me, I'm gonna kill you.
Wait,
I'm
hold
looking
on.
in. Do I see what's happening?
I don't know. Make me a perception check.
Birdie, are you alive?
Oh wow, Jesus man.
You actually recognize what's going on. It's actually contained. Krillian, you still have no idea. But
Curly. Oh my
you
god.
see that there's a forge in there, and that Birdie has been working away at. You can see a kind of half-empty bucket of nails.
I'll fizzle out my create water spell.
Dude, listen. There's fire. There's smoke. We're on a wooden ship.
Just
All of my years on an airship, going to and from Dragon's Mouth, fire bad.
it looks like he's got it under control, okay? I think we'll be okay. At least for now.
now.
And I can be here as support if he needs help if things do get out of hand.
What's
Cool.
he doing with the forge?
Birdie, I didn't realize that you were good at metalworking.
I'll just mutter like inanities while I'm heading back up deck.
Okay.
I wouldn't say good. I'm just started out.
Well, maybe you'd be able to help me with something.
Oh, it'd have to be
Uh,
kind of small.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And I'll show him the engraving of the dire wolf head,
Okay.
and I'm like, hey, do you think you'd be able to maybe make a brand similar to this?
Possibly. I
Yeah,
could give it
looking
a
at-
try.
Looking at it, it's a nice design. It's still relatively simple.
Yeah.
Looking at it, you figure you might be able to whip something together. You're not sure how good it would be or what, but
If you need metal, I can check with Tom. I'm sure we have spare swords and stuff that aren't being used. We can maybe melt down to create something.
Fortunately, this forge is like way too small for melting down swords.
Well, what if we
yeah, it's like a
broke the
cubic
sword?
foot inside of the forge.
Would we be
and
able to
that whole
break the
thing.
sword and do it? Like,
Out of character, think of it as one of those about the size of one of those coffee can forges.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah. Maybe we can work on getting something together because I'd really like this new armor, and I'll pull out the Drakenhide armor. Like, I'd really like my direwolf brand on this.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Okay.
I'll sketch some stuff together for you, and we'll see what we can come up with.
Cool.
But yeah, if you need help with
everybody
a
else-
fire, let me know. I've got water ready.
Everybody else notices a
Well, could you
up-
fill up my bucket?
Sure. I will. Well, I think I create 10 gallons at a time, so
Up to, I believe.
yeah,
Up
up
to,
to.
yeah.
Okay, so
So you can do less if you want.
yeah, I'll fill his bucket.
Okay.
Bucket.
Bucket.
Meanwhile, everybody else on deck all of a sudden sees smoke streaming from the mostly closed hole in the hull and the hallway. A large puff of it at first, and then sort of like a stream as Ta walks up through the smoke back onto deck.
I'm assuming Declan's freaking out because he just repaired a bunch of fire damage to the ship.
Yeah, he's a little concerned. Kind of looking around, going, "What the fuck is going on?"
I'm just looking at the maps, charting out the course for
Okay.
the coming journey.
I'm gonna head to my room and don my new armor.
Fuck, I guess at this
Declan
point I'll
looks
come up.
around at all of you and goes, "What the fuck did you
I'm just gonna hold
say?"
up a hand, like this is normal.
He
I'm
looks
sorry to
absolutely
say.
horrified.
I'm just gonna make my way up the stairs at this point and just like, do I see Declan?
Yeah, he's there. Taz just sort of trying to tell him this is normal, which seems to only be making him a little bit more terrified.
I'm gonna like lean over the handrail, going like downstairs, and just kind of shout, "Hey, Birdie!
What?
Next time you do this, could you do it like on the deck instead of in an enclosed room
No.
next to mine?"
No.
I'll just
Very
look at
nice,
Todd
very-
like we could
very
just like carry his forge out. It'll be fine. It's not that heavy.
All right, I'll go back to looking at maps.
And I'll just shout at Declan from opening the door to the navigator's room to like just one of our guys doing the thing. Don't worry, it's
This is
under
fine,
control.
We're all fine here.
This is
Everything's
fine.
fine. How are you?
Fucking nerds.
I say under my breath so that no one can hear me.
Oh.
Yeah, just wait till I get into alchemy.
I swear to God, buddy.
Does that make it past Bramnick's passive perception?
Yeah, no, it would have. His door's closed for the most
Oh.
part.
That and forges do make noise and hammering and
Yeah. But yeah.
so I guess you could try.
At this point, Declan looks at all of you and says, "We should be finished up in about 20 minutes or so. I'm going to make a quick run. out to grab a couple of little things before I go. And then, well, whenever you wish to leave, you can. Yeah, no, that's apt.
Fine, it's fine. Come on. I know what I'm doing.
No, I mean, you're kind of learning as you go, but whatever. I'll take your word for it. It looks like it was quote unquote under control. Hey, Ta.
Mm-hmm.
How much communal money do we got left in that bag of holding?
Why?
I wanted to see if I could buy something magic.
I would point out, it's close to about 5 p.m. now.
We getting ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it a little late to go on a shopping trip?
I mean, maybe?
We have like 20 minutes.
It'll be, I mean, yep, yeah, fair. I guess fair, yeah.
Okay. Declan leaves for a few, sort of making his way, not out of the compound, but actually into the guard quarters here at the embassy.
Excuse me.
Comes back out a few minutes later. His face is a little bit more drawn, a little bit more gaunt. Looks kind of like he's seen a ghost. Climbs on the ship and doesn't seem to say a word.
Declan?
Hey, you're looking a little worse for wear there, bud.
He just sort of nods. He goes to you, Tagus,
Mm-hmm.
and says, I'm terribly sorry. There's been a third attack, and we have news about the second.
Wait, what?
The Temple of Bahamut was hit. Several are dead. Several more unresponsive. I don't have any news directly, but the Temple of Sylvanas was also attacked. The priest survived, but several members are also, well, dead.
Did you say
Is
Sylvanas?
he just whispering this, or are you saying it out loud?
He's saying it out loud, but he's not being super loud about it. It kind of sounds like most of the power or any conviction has kind of gone out of his voice.
Oh, fuck. I'm gonna run up to Tom and say, we gotta leave immediately. Apparently those attacks we're hearing about, those are on actual temples, and they're killing the clergy.
Is the ship ready, Declan? Are we?
He sort of looks at over the work really quickly. The half orc sort of standing there. Yeah, you should be ready to go.
Is
Thanks for
the
your help.
half coming too?
No, he's staying here to mind the shop.
Right.
Is that those assassins we'd heard about?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. There's 3 attacks now. I think he said one was on Temple of Sylvain or something. So Savan something.
Sylvanas.
There we go. Thank you, Bramnick.
That's. I would know of Sylvanas, right?
Yeah, you would.
And I also just whispered to Taz, yeah, they also attacked the Temple of Bahamut.
Actually, I'm pretty sure I put that as my god.
Which is no good.
Yeah, if you guys were to ask, and I assume you probably would, about any of the news, Declan would say, well, there have been 3 attacks. The first was the Temple of Grumish. the orc god of storms and war, and well, it doesn't happen often. If it was going to happen, that would be the place to have it happen. Second was at the Temple of Bahamut. They killed a priest there, and several other attendants and clergy were hurt, if not killed. And the third attack apparently happened, well, a few hours ago. And that was against the Temple of Sylvanas. The priest there survived, but, well, not many more others did. And for context for anyone, Sylvanas is the goddess of nature, Grimish, or god of storms, Bahamut. You guys know Bahamut.
Sylvanas, that's the forest father, right?
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Well, there's two. Sylvanas is the sort of the Earth Mother,
Okay.
and then there is another god, sort of the god of trees, I guess you could say, in a way.
Yeah. Who's been attacking?
We don't know. They left no trace,
Motherfucker.
other than stab wounds and people who, it seems like some are slowly dying, some have stabilized. No one's woken up yet.
Hopefully the priest can shed a little light on this. For now, we need to get going.
Yep.
I concur.
So in this city, they have a temple to Grimish.
Temple to everyone.
All right. I do want to make a note that I would have wanted to have shut down the crystals the 1 or 2 days.
I figured you would have. I took that into account.
Yep.
You will have to make one stop on the way.
Yeah.
You guys can make it, depending on how you want to fly it. If you're kind of coming from here, you guys could make it kind of the outside of this set of woods before you'd have to stop.
I was
at max,
because we have to set down in the because it's best to set down in the water. I was planning on probably going east. Well, yeah, like more southeast, like to see if I could get to that river. If I knew that would be because I probably know that's deep enough. I could either go south and then in the ocean and then go east, or we go east or east southeast to the river and then stop there and then go straight south.
This, you don't know that you'd necessarily make it. You got about 300 or almost 400 miles till you have to put down.
Okay.
Would I be able to use my?
You could put down here, and then do a longer haul to Kiokrati.
What about there in that inlet?
To here? Yeah, you could make it to that inlet.
Okay. Yeah, I'll shoot for that then. That's what I would have been looking at when I was looking at the maps.
Okay, perfect. What was that, Bramnick?
Wasn't there a spell that you and I had talked about? Was it just control wind or something?
Gust of wind, I think.
No, gust of wind.
I have a new spell.
Doesn't really do anything because you're standing on the ship. Therefore, it literally cancels out the forces. However, control wind would give you a boost for as long as it lasts. Yes.
Yeah. So if that would allow us to get further before having to set down, I would use it.
Yeah, you could do that. Even if it doesn't get you necessarily further, it might get you there a little bit faster. If you use it every day for as much as you can use it, you could probably cut a day or potentially 2 off of your trip. I don't know exactly how long it lasts.
I don't think it's actually.
Do you have a spell card for it?
It's in. No, I don't think it's in the compendium on Roll20. So
yeah,
I have to write
I'll find it. I'll find it. But yeah,
there's control weather, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's the one.
Well, it's control wind. Is the actual that came from Xanathar's.
Is it a second level?
Yet. It's a 5th level.
Oh, right.
5th level transmutation, casting time 1 action, radius 300 feet, concentration up to 1 hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gust, downdraft, and updraft.
Yep. So you could make gusts to push it along significantly.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can
I'd
do that as
usually-
many times as you have 5th level spell slots.
I only have one, so I'd do it
Okay.
like once a day, maybe, but
Okay, that's fair.
not
So,
not every day. We'll play it by ear.
okay.
Maybe spend some time scouting and then time doing that.
Okay. So you guys want to head out that night? Or
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys sort of you talk to the dockmaster. He gives you the go ahead. Dragon Song is alerted that you're going to be taking off. And you guys head out into the night. Now, my understanding is you guys are going to be up high for the first week, basically.
Well, I basically want to do that like when we're over land. If we're over the ocean, I'm fine with being lower.
Well, initially you're going to be over land because you're going to go down this way. So for the first 2.5, 3 days, you're going to be over land.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So if there's any projects that you guys all want to do during this, that now's the time to tell me.
I want to work with Birdie on making that brand.
I'm gonna exercise.
And
I'm gonna stand on the deck and like watch the sights the whole time.
Do the King of the World thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna periodically sick Koresh on Zuzia for funsies.
Okay.
Playfully sick, not like actually attack
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
I want to spend some time with Melee as well, trying to see if I can teach her to speak with animals.
Okay. So for the purposes of this, on the way, I need Birdie. I need you to make me a Tinker's check with intelligence to
Okay.
figure out how to kind of, if you're gonna do the brand initially, knowing that you could probably remelt some of the metal.
That only works for some firearms. Okay. Which attribute?
Intelligence.
Okay.
Coming up with the design, yeah, figuring out what materials and everything. Let's see here.
Ooh, nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Initially it seems a little bit weird, but after about an hour or two, you start kind of coming up with some basic workable designs. And after say 3 hours or so, you get an idea of how to heat the metal itself once you've actually made the brand, so that it will properly imprint the image and have a decent idea of the design based off of Bramnick's other
Drawings.
accoutrement. So I need you to make me a Tinker's check. It'll be, for this one, it'll be dexterity to move the metal in the right way to get it all happy.
Not bad.
Christ.
Nice.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I'll use up all these good rolls for this, and
Yeah. Well, you do manage on day 2. By sort of midday, day 2, you manage to put together a pretty decent brand, and together with Bramnick, casting some, managing to heat it properly. Bramnick, you now have a sort of emblazoned, burned in thing of essentially your direwolf.
Nice.
yay.
Okay.
Thanks, Birdie. I really appreciate
Yeah.
it. If you need
That
help,
takes about 2 days worth of work overall to get it all right, and trying to set it up, doing a couple testing runs as well to make sure that when you actually do it, it's not going to damage the armor or anything like that. But yeah, you managed to do it pretty well.
if you need any help with like poisons or anything, let me know. That's about all I got.
Unfortunately, poisons really don't work all that well with my new toy.
Right. Oh, didn't I hear you say something about alchemy?
Maybe.
Well, I've got these spare items. I forgot that I actually already had some. So
Oh.
it's not a full kit, but it's most of the pieces, most of the essential pieces. So I've got like a mortar and pestle and some vials and things that you can have.
Cool.
Okay, so now you have half an alchemy kit, enough to do like the most basic of basics, but you're not really proficient in it. You do have the ability to actually do stuff in there, though.
If you need help like with herbs and things for your alchemy, let me know.
Okay.
I can help with that.
All right. Meanwhile, is there anything else you want to do on the? Anybody else want to do anything on the trip, or I'm assuming you're going to work on your moon clips.
I do want to ask Tagus about, communing with this god and stuff like that.
Yeah, all right. I'm probably just on the top deck screwing around. But yeah, as you come up, I will mention. I'm, it would need to know.
You're a cleric. I'm a paladin in service to the Great Worm Zorquan.
Loose lead cleric. But yes.
I'll give you a quick squint eye, but it's like, I'll just ask, so how do you, what do you do, in service to your god and stuff like that? To Bahamut and Torn.
Well, and he's actually having a very hard time coming up with something at this point. But he eventually says, I patrol the world and make sure people in it are happy. I've been on pilgrimage since I turned 18. And, well, I've been traveling around, been acquainted with all the lovely people from around the world. And, well, I've just been helping out wherever I can.
And how old are you?
19.
Oh.
Hmm?
Alright. I do a quick little fist pump. Finally, there's somebody on here younger than me.
I never said what my age was.
That's true.
Fair.
I don't think we ever asked.
No one
either.
cares.
Nobody ever asked.
Nobody cares enough.
Actually, I think most of us haven't given our age.
No. Actually, I think that the youngest might be really weird to all of you, potentially. Or
I mean, it's obviously Malay.
Well, yeah, okay, which doesn't count. Actually, no. She's probably older than all of you.
She just 18 is different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, she's 50. So,
Oh.
at least in human years.
Yeah,
Like
so
reverse
screw you
dog
and all
years.
those freaking child pervert comments.
I mean, that concerns me a little bit that you say that you did something.
Sicko.
How dare
Of
you?
course you can't get there.
Moving swiftly on.
Yeah,
So-
that's kind of where I was going. Thank you.
Yeah. So, you're Paladin, you said?
Yep.
Cool. My father was a Paladin.
Oh. Who was he sworn
Still
to?
is. Oh god, hope still is. So, you guys have been going around here often? He says, knowing that we're in the sky.
This area, no. Actually, I only met these guys a couple weeks ago when we were on a.
It would have been about
It's
a
been
month
like a month.
now.
Yeah,
Oh,
a month
yes,
ago. In Praven.
Oh, you've known him a month longer than me.
Yeah, I was initially on a what's the word? Diplomatic mission from the Dragon Ascendancy. But as you may have heard, some things happened, and we ended up going underground and killing this Oni thing. And I take out the Oni tooth necklace that Ta gave me. Here's the teeth. I used to have a halberd that I took off that guy as a spoil of war. But they made me kind of give that back.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
And I'll just keep telling him stories about like what we've done since we met in Praven. It's just like, oh yeah, we went up to Dragon Ascendancy. We killed some wyverns on the way up. That was fun. We killed some orcs in the forest. Ta really hates orcs. You won't believe how much he hates orcs. Like, you think he's quiet now, he gets even quieter and angrier when he sees an orc.
Mm-hmm.
What else did we? Oh yeah, we scattered out some islands. We killed this weird dream eater thing on an island that was really trippy. And I just kind of have this look of like just trauma thinking back to the island because I was freaking the fuck out.
Tagus will be enthralled, curious, and a little bit weirded out. But yeah, as you continue telling him the tales of war.
Oh, and this is the best part. We went out to this island in the north, to the way north of the Trillium Isles. It's called Three Sisters, and one of the islands was really fucked up. Had a volcano on it. Everything was on fire. We went in, killed a weird sorcerer lich lady, and we killed this other guy with a butthole for a face. And then we killed this weird magic dude with cards called the Dealer. Apparently he was somewhere in Praven before. I don't know. You have to ask them about that.
Raven, did you use the Smelter Demon for a token?
No,
Huh.
it wasn't the Smelter Demon.
Fair enough.
I'll send it to you later. It's pretty great.
Okay then. Sounds like you've been around quite a bit. Maybe more than I have. I need to get my adventuring going more.
Mostly between Praven and Dragon's Mouth for all my life, but yeah. Served on an airship for 5 years under the captain who took me in when after I was exiled as a child from my village. Good times. I wonder how Captain Shadow Raython's doing now.
Birdie, it takes you. So by the end of the week, by the time you guys have to put down, you do manage to make sort of using the one you have as a basis.
Template.
You make a workable design, and manage to sort of take essentially a plate, and mill out slowly by hand, and it takes freaking forever, but slowly mill out your moon clip. You manage to get one serviceable, but that's about all you get by the time you guys land here at the inlet.
I wanted to do something really fast. I wanted to write down comprehend languages in the ritual book.
Sure, you can totally do that. You have the inks now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no problem. You got plenty
Thank
of
you.
time to do that.
Cool.
Also, what does Tagus look like? Is he like just like a short, like human, or is he
no.
just like scrawny?
He is 9 feet, fairly. It looks as though he's weathered somewhat for his short time going about the world. He's not particularly scrawny. He looks fairly nimble, but you can tell he's a bit of an airhead and doesn't seem to take care of himself too much. His rather long sort of hair is very scraggly and dirty. He's still got a lot of scuff marks on his boots. His hands are covered in mud and dirt and all that, and he seems like a decent guy, just not very he's still a kid at heart.
Alright, he doesn't look strong, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that at that. I'm not gonna ask him for like a fight or anything, so cool.
Oh my god.
So
He does not look like a traditional warrior. He doesn't even carry like a sword on him or anything.
which backs up that even more. It's like, all right,
Mm,
he's one of the smarter ones.
No, but
Oh, I
He's one
love
of the
it.
book types. The
Actually,
magic.
compared to you, Carillion, he's a fucking genius. So don't worry about it.
He can read. All right.
Hey,
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
read too. Okay, just slowly.
Just-
Mostly picture books.
Hey, listen, I
Um,
like the pictures. They're very colorful.
So I wanted to do a couple things over the first few days as we're traveling. The first would honestly just be kind of like relaxing for the first time in a while. So like I'd be up on the upper deck,
Okay.
just kind of like when I'm not flying, like meditating, and then also I want to break out my chess set that I haven't used in the campaign at all, but ever or for a long time in story wise. I
Yeah.
just gotta like play against myself, like just having fun. I guess I don't know, just unwinding. I guess.
Play against yourself, or do you want to try to challenge somebody? Because I
I mean,
actually
if
have a chess set.
if anybody
If I
is
see him, I'd
on
like
the
to play.
upper deck, because I'd be spending most of my time.
I'm
Nick
always on the upper
doesn't.
deck.
Nyx doesn't sleep anymore ever, so she's always up.
Oh shit,
Oh,
Yeah, Nyx is creepy.
that's a problem for the next thing I'm gonna get to.
All right, well.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody's on the upper deck, like I wouldn't like challenge them, but I wouldn't say no if they were like, oh, we want to play. But I don't know where everybody's at, so I'd be on like the uppermost deck, not like the main deck for most of
yeah,
it. 'Cause
Tagus
it's nice.
will always be on there, and I think there's one more person up there.
yeah.
Carillion was.
Carillion's always going to be patrolling just because like he's used to doing it from the years he was on an airship.
And I think. All right, who all knows how to fly the ship?
I think it's just me and Nyx.
Nyx does a little bit.
Yeah.
I can hold it steady with my mind,
Yeah.
surprisingly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nyx
I
actually wanted to ask Todd to teach her a little bit more, since she's gonna be like awake all the time. She can like fly the ship and shit like that.
Do we notice that Nyx hasn't been sleeping like at all?
Not at
We've
first,
been
but
sleeping.
no matter what, she always seems to be awake when you guys are awake, which is really weird because you guys remember that she used to sleep all the fucking time.
Oh,
It might not necessarily jump out at you initially, but over the course of a few days, if you sort of ask anybody else about it, you would maybe realize that she's not really sleeping anymore.
guys.
So Nyx, are you asking Todd about flying?
Well, if he asks her if she wants to play, she'll probably say if she wins that you have to teach her more about flying.
Counter offer. How about I teach you how to fly this thing, and every once in a while you pump a spell into this stone, and I'll like toss the stone up and let it orbit around my head, because that helps the group as a whole.
Well, I mean, there is that friend discount, you know. All right. I'll tell you what. I'll do it for like. You know what? Fuck it. I'll ask for a little bit of money, not much though, but just
No
a
money.
little bit. What?
No money. This is for the group.
Then you gotta teach me like how to fly this thing like legit, like the whole 9 yards, like combat
That's what I'm
flights and
talking
everything.
about.
All right, yeah, fine, deal.
And then I'll sit down with a chessboard, and then you can either join in or not.
Yep, she'll sit down.
Like I've got it like up on a stool, and I'm just sitting cross-legged on the floor.
Okay. You're proficient with it, right?
Yes.
So, Nyx, roll me a straight intelligence check. And Ta, roll me your proficiency with it, with intelligence.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Oh shit. That's a bad roll.
Nick,
Yeah.
it's been a while, Ta, since you've played,
Mhm.
and Nyx throws out this bizarre, set of moves that, through playing, you've never really run into. They seem completely aimless, But somehow at the end of it, Nyx zeroes in and actually gets the victory out of absolute chaos.
That's the whole match. Okay.
Yeah, no, for that one.
All right.
For the moment. Mostly because we're montaging.
Yeah, I guess it's true. All right.
Fine. If you guys want to sit down and play a real game, I've actually got a chessboard and we can actually play.
No, I don't know.
I want to move my knight to
I don't ever want to do an
G6.
actual full match. I just figured it'd be like over a
flip the
couple
table
rounds.
over and run
Yeah.
back.
Okay, and then at some point on the flight down, well, there's two other things I want to do. So at some point on the flight down to this inlet, when everybody's asleep, or I think they're asleep because it's only the first couple of days, I want to commune with the Guardians, and then I had sent you some questions, but I can just repeat them if you want.
Let me see here. Oh wow, okay, that was a little bit back.
Yeah, and Noble Eyes, he's rusty. He wouldn't.
Yeah. So yeah, why don't you just you commune with the Guardians. Nyx still, even though Nyx doesn't have to sleep, she still has to like spend time on her own and sort of getting the benefits of a long rest.
Right.
So yeah, you could probably find some time to commune with the Guardians.
Okay. Yeah, still on the upper deck, just basically summoning them forth.
Okay.
So the first question would be, how did they deal with fighting magic users?
All right. Let me get the thing.
Jeez, Saber making ride
so-
I
on
almost
things.
forgot about these.
Yeah.
This is like from last week.
Yeah. So you kind of get a flurry of answers at first, but it ends up coming down to they typically didn't. They had other magic users or rangers to deal with magic users
Yeah,
for
that sounds
them.
about right.
For these particular individuals anyway.
Okay, and then did they know? Well, this is mostly for Haguk because he was with the Dragon's Mouth group. Were there any problems with bandits in the Shatter Peaks before? Because it seems like they've increased now.
You get an answer of always, but nothing more than a trifle. Send out a patrol, destroy them. They'll come back in a month. Send out another patrol, destroy them. It was something to do, never really a threat.
All right. And the last is if the three would be willing to fight or defend in different ways in the future. Right now, we kind of have one trick up the sleeve, but I want to expand that arsenal if I can.
Perhaps, if you prove yourself worthy.
All right, then I'll let him dissipate.
Okay. You kind of get from Turge. He's sort of the last one to go. He's just sort of eyeing you down. Sort of turns his head and walks off. Seems like there's something clawing at him, but he can only stick around for short periods of time, so, and has to have questions asked. So.
Okay, last thing is, since I know we're going to be going over the water soon, I'm going to, at some point, go down to my room, lock the door, and then take a close look at the Mariner's plate armor, and then try that on, and then use my mirror finish shield now to make sure that there's like full coverage and everything.
Yeah, seems that way. The armor is kind of odd, but it slowly sort of expands to fill and cover you just about as well as the plate armor. There's a few minor differences in mobility, but they're nothing like major. It's just something a little weird to get used to. If you wear it for a little while, say a long rest area, you can work out the kinks and be just like your old armor for the most part.
Okay, yeah, I'd do that just before I rested, and then I'd put my armor on the stand and secure that to the floor. You said there were like bolts or something on it.
Yeah, there's a couple bolts, and you can Well, one of you has a lot of extra nails, so I'm sure you can manage it.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, and that's all that I had.
Okay, so as you guys land, to take your day's break to get the ship back up and running. For the purposes of this, yeah, I think, Tagus, this would be the first time, not necessarily that you've ever seen an airship. There was one over the top of the embassy. Didn't really look like this. This is pretty small comparatively to that
Right.
actual like Navy ship. But yeah, as you guys put down, it being a routine thing, that might jump out at you as weird. I don't know, but yeah, you've managed to cover a huge amount of distance. The distances, that you would normally spend 2 or 3 weeks on a caravan covering, you managed to cover in a week, if that. So that might, yeah, it's just a little odd. Declan seems perfectly at home, having done this before. He's been sort of spending his time drawing over various designs and the like, pretty much keeping to himself.
I will at one point go over to him after we land in that night. Just say to him, just out of curiosity, do you realize how absolutely impeccably amazing this ship is?
He kind of looks at you and just, guess you're right. I don't know. I deal with them. I deal with Dragon's Mouth and their ships all the time, so I guess I don't really think about it that much anymore. But yeah, you're right. It is, it's quite the thing. And then you see his brow furrow and says, but it could be better. And then begins to draw out some newfangled airship on a brand new piece of paper that already has tons of smudge marks from charcoal earlier.
Tagus will just nod, turn back, and mutter to himself, need to find someone more awestruck. And he will go ahead and do that.
Well, all right. Yeah, you got a bunch of people. Actually, if you're actually looking for awestruck, Zuzia has been up on the deck just watching the scenery go by, seeming in a, I assume, constant state of awe. I don't know. What do you?
Pretty much, and then
Yeah.
the only time I leave is when I'm like, oh, it's so bright out here, and I like have to just take a little break from being in the brightness.
Fair enough. Yeah, so you see the woman in a shadowy cloak, sort of standing on deck almost all day, every day, until it gets around noon, in which case she seems to disappear for a little while and then reappear.
Mm-hmm.
An hour or two later.
So yeah, I'll go up and go over to her and say, so, pretty cool, huh? I think so.
Everything? Yeah.
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 Everything.
Pretty cool.
This is nice. Just someone who isn't entirely jaded to this. Because apparently that's everyone else.
I guess they're used to everything. I've not really seen any of this.
Where
Really.
you guys at talking about this?
Probably the front of the ship.
Yeah, front of the ship, top deck, basically.
Okay. Wait, yeah, like main deck or upper deck? Because like the far left one is like way on the top of the ship. Well, not way,
Yeah.
at the very top.
So
Yeah,
there's
I'm
like
pretty
an
sure right
extra
here.
steering column and a couple of ballista there, and then there's this part slightly raised. I would assume they'd probably be on the bow. Because
Yeah.
Okay.
Eva was saying that she was doing the King of the World thing pretty much the entire time. So
Oh, right, yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
I can't really move the token.
When it's good weather,
hold
I'm
on, I'll
usually up
fix
on top.
that's because the thing didn't take the way that it was supposed to. I hate Roll20.
Bad Raven.
And now
Oh,
you're
wait,
paying
weren't we
money
supposed
for
to
it too.
Make
There you go. Should be good now.
Weren't we supposed to make like good food and shit?
Yeah.
We probably would have. We're montaging
Oh,
that so
that's
quick.
that's
What
what
the hell are you
that
doing?
is. Sorry, I was clicking a button, not realizing what it was doing.
We do that. Yeah.
A lot.
Tanaka and I do that at the beginning of every game because
Mm-hmm.
Thunder kills us a lot.
Yep.
I mean, it's
Or-
more like you
Yeah.
guys just are bad at like. All right, you know, I'm not gonna say anything because I basically
We'll save
die
it after
every
the game,
encounter.
sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, no, this would have been really helpful. Just coming out of Kyokrati, but I don't think we really have these here. At least not since I left.
These ships?
Yeah,
Are you still
stuff,
talking to me? Yeah.
yeah, stuff like this, things that fly and float. And I don't think they go on land, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah, I haven't really been on regular ships much either, but I've heard of these ships, and it's great being on one, traveling, seeing things. Seems to be the quickest way.
Closest I've been on is a rather large wagon, and even then, doesn't really compare.
I bet. Well, what time of day is it now?
Well, considering when you landed, it'd be mid-afternoon going into evening.
Are we still going somewhere?
We had to sit
No,
down
you-
to recharge the crystals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you get a week of flight time with the crystals in their current configuration, and then you have to recharge them,
Okay.
which just means downtime.
Well, I have nothing to do.
While we're down, I want to talk to the shipwright. Like, I want to pull out the air crystal from the bag of holding and just like
Okay.
show it to him and say, "Is this in workable flying condition, or does it have to be refined or something?"
He starts, he pulls out like one of those jeweler's kaleidoscope things,
Mhm.
starts looking through it and everything, and goes, "Well, I work on the structure usually. It might be flyable, but you're missing a component. You need the opal gem and the null magic field. So if you can get something like that and figure out a good place to put it, it should be able to work."
Let's say, hypothetically, someone stole one of the crystals that we have right now. Would I be able to swap this in its place and have it work as you understand it?
As I understand it, maybe. Hold on.
Okay.
Thunder, how much does Declan know about Tagus, like his profession and his abilities? Do you think?
He would probably know that Tagus is fairly powerful in terms of casting. But he probably doesn't know like the nature of abilities, and he probably wouldn't have shown off his racials, so to speak.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he sort of turns and says, Tagus, you're better with magic than me. You want to take a look at this?"
Sure. Hey, look, we have something to do. And then he'll go downstairs to the crystal thing.
Yeah. So Tagus, you walk in. There's a large shard, sort of a broken crystal, sort of almost white pink in color. Pretty. Actually, walking around, you've seen some of these other ones. It looks a lot like that, although maybe a little less glowy at the moment, but might be due to the light. But yeah, Declan sort of hands it out to you and says, "What do you make of this?"
I will sort of turn it around, move it over, see what I make of it.
Okay, yeah, give me an Arcana check or an Identify or whatever you want to do.
Don't have identify. I will go for an Arcana check. I can't make much of this.
No.
It's
You
a pretty
look over and
gem.
go, it's a pretty piece of glass.
I'm gonna grab it and put
Yeah.
it back in the bag and walk away.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't exactly study.
Airships.
Well, just in
Or
general.
anything. Yeah,
but-
that's fair. But yeah, Declan just goes, sorry. I mean,
That's
if
all
it
right.
is a shard, I don't know if they need to be calibrated. I've just never done that. I build the ships around the shards.
And I can fix it, but I've been told that doesn't work too well. I guess, accidentally fixed a woman's scarf once, and then she, aged rapidly. Didn't turn out well.
Nope. You just keep your magic. That's okay.
Okay.
All right. I assume you guys will kind of keep the montage going for the most part. But you guys,
I'm gonna let
Spending
Nyx
time
fly
with
the second
Millie.
half
okay.
as we're doing that. Still standing next to Nyx, but just
Yeah, just sort of giving pointers and everything. Sort of like that first time out, sort of like the driving test. Sort of
Yeah,
thing.
well, I taught Nyx a little bit previously, but yeah, just being a
Yeah.
little more thorough and in depth about it now.
Okay.
I have some time I want to spend with Sylvain,
Okay.
asking questions.
Okay. I'll say you can ask a couple questions. Sure.
Just want to see if she's remembers anything of Keokrati and maybe people having vendettas against the Holy City.
Okay. She would respond with, I've never been, but I have heard of this place. Many peoples have attempted to take it over the years for power or glory or, well, many reasons. Isolating that down to a single individual or group would be nearly impossible. On top of that, I have no idea what the world looks like these days. If you don't remember, you found me locked in a tomb.
Yes.
I'd been there for about 500 years.
Oh, right. About that. Yeah. Well, hey, at least you're out now, right? So,
Right. Something like that.
I mean,
At least it's a change of pace.
okay. Well, thanks anyways. No. I'm gonna find Millie and, like I said, try to work with her on some
Okay.
druid abilities.
Yeah. You sort of working through stuff. You're kind of like trying to teach her the whole speak with animals spell, and she kind of gets it. She has a bit of an innate ability to do it, at least with plants. But animals are a little bit trickier. But she seems eager enough to learn when her attention can actually be captured.
Makes sense.
Every time you look away, though, she does tend to throw a druidcraft sort of paper airplane, because it's her.
That's her thing.
That's not. Yeah, she's terrifying in and of herself. But yeah, when she's not spending time inside the ship helping control it, then yeah, she can work with you. She seems to be grasping some of the fundamentals, but not quite there yet.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, you guys do actually manage to go through the downtime pretty well. Nothing really jumps out at you. The seas are actually calm for the most part.
I want to
Oh.
scan the horizon.
Okay, give me a perception check. You can see the odd ship kind of cruising the coast. Looks like a lot of trade galleons, that sort of thing. Nothing too major. If you're looking for dracons, you do not see any.
Just do I think any of them saw us like touch down or anything? When do we touch down? Like dead of night
You
or
guys, not dead of night, but like late evening. And if you put your sails down beforehand, which I assume you would have, it would have been a lot harder to see. It doesn't seem like anybody's really taking notice of you. Seem to be fine.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, the you have to put. Are you gonna put down for the full 24 hours, Ta, or are you gonna sort of shortchange it, or?
How long would it be to get to Kyokari?
Just to get there and pretty much have nothing left in the tank, would be about 12. Yeah, about 12 hours.
No, I'll set down for like at least 16, I think.
Okay, so you'll have like an extra day-ish or a day and a half of flight time.
Yeah, because I assume they'd have like some kind of dock on the river or something we could set down at.
Yeah.
I think I would
Actually,
know.
you could ask about that if you wanted, but yes, there is a dock.
Okay.
But yeah, although the river over here is I mean, it's about the size of the Mississippi, but a lot of times it's riverboats, sort of flat bottomed things. So a actual like seafaring vessel, that's probably going to be a little bit more weird.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find
What?
Susia.
Okay.
Hey, Susia.
Yes.
Have you ever been fishing?
Yes.
You wanna help with some fishing? I remember we have this giant fishing net.
Oh my god, you do. I totally forgot about that.
Oh yeah, we did get that.
Oh, no.
Sure.
Maybe we can get Carillion to help too. I have a great idea for this.
All right, I don't mind helping you.
Yeah. I'll find Carillion. So,
Okay.
Yep,
Hey,
I'll be on
Carillion.
deck. So
I've got a great idea for doing some fishing if you want to help. We could use the muscle.
Sure.
So,
I haven't had fish in a while.
So my idea, right? We take the fish net, we dangle it. I don't know how to use it. I'm not a fisher, but if you guys know how to use it, and I can jump in the water, turn myself into a shark, and try to scare some fish into the net to make it easy to catch them. You guys can pull it up. Maybe we could have some fish dinner tonight. What do you think?
Sure.
Sounds good. I'll look over to Koresh. Like, what do you think, Koresh?
He just looks at you quizzically, not quite understanding what you're asking.
Fish meat.
Susie, would you like to be a shark as well? You can come in the water with me. We can both be sharks.
I can be a shark?
Yeah. We'll both be sharks.
Okay. All right.
So, Carillion, you cool with handling the muscle part of pulling up the net?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, Susie. Let's jump in the water and then I'll turn you into a shark.
Okay.
Or you just turn into a shark on the ship, reverse drown, and have me toss you off the edge.
We'll hop in and I'll polymorph Susia into a hunter shark.
Okay.
Or actually, I guess I could. Yeah, hunter shark's fine.
Okay.
And then I'll transform into a hunter shark as well.
Okay, so yeah, there are now two hunter sharks underwater. And Krellian has a net that's in the water, I assume, or like ready to go in the water.
Yep, I'll just drop
both
like
of you
one
make
edge of it
me
in.
perception checks. See how much in the way of fish you find. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Perception. Right. Okay.
Nice.
So it's a solid 26.
Wow.
All right. Yeah, you guys managed to find a large school of cod type fish in the water. And between the two of you, it takes you a little bit, but between the two of you, I'll assume you're doing this kind of in the morning where you can actually kind of see.
Yeah.
And yeah, you managed to get just about the entire school of fish over towards the net.
Nice. Alright. Oh. I don't know.
Yeah,
Can
how are
I
you gonna-
communicate with her while she's a shark?
You're both
I'll
sharks.
And I'm a
say-
shark?
I'll say okay. Sure.
I'll, alright. Susia, I'm gonna go up and tell, Carillion to get ready to cinch the net, okay? You keep circling and keep them in the area.
All right, and I'm circling like relatively fast.
Okay. So you see so there's a spastic shark doing circles around a bunch of cod over a net. And then you go up. All right, yeah, you can swim.
I'll
up.
like dolphin jump out of the water basically, and then
Okay.
undo my shape and be like, "Pull it now!"
All right,
Crowley,
here we
give me
go.
an athletics.
Hey.
Okay. Zuzia, give me. We're just gonna use yours for this because fuck it, I'm not gonna go find a hunter shark right now.
I've got it. If you want
Oh,
the
okay.
dex,
What is it? Yeah, I want dex.
it's a +1.
All right, so roll me 1d20 plus 1. This is gonna be weird.
That was why I went with hunter shark, because I had the thing sitting right next to me.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay. So here's what happens. Krellian, this is a lot of fish. This is a lot of fish. But you straining, you cinch the net.
Garish, help!
Getting a huge amount of fish in there. And Zuzia, as the net cinches, you sort of dodge out of the way. Unfortunately, your tail does get caught.
Oh no!
So Krellian, as you're hauling this up, you also see a hunter shark hanging by the tail, halfway out of the net. Yeah, probably not helping with the weight either. Hunter sharks.
Do I see this happening?
Yeah, once the net breaks the surface, you see a long tail, and you're not exactly sure, but eventually you see a shark. And as your head clears the water, Zuzia, you start to suffocate.
I'll drop it.
Restaurant.
Drop polymorph.
Okay. You unpolymorph Zuzia. You can breathe again. Your foot is still caught. Only one though. In the net, and you can free yourself easily enough. But yeah, Curly still hauling up this massive load of fish, which you do eventually get to the deck.
Well, I'd say that was a success. What'd you think, Susia?
That was better than I expected.
It's
Oh,
kind
that
of
was-
fun, yeah?
That was a good workout.
We should do it again in the future when we need more fish. Not anytime soon, though.
Right. Yeah, about that. How much, Hey, Ta, I noticed you brought back supplies. Did you fill the cooler, or do we have space to store some of this cod?
I mean, I
At
had
this point, you
10
guys probably would have
birds.
eaten a fair amount out of the cooler, so you get 30 pounds roughly that you can have in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, I'll say for the purposes of this, because it's good eats, you guys have probably gone through 20 pounds of stuff in the cooler.
About how many pounds of fish did we manage to get?
Probably close to like
Uh,
60.
Eyeballing, about 250 pounds of
I am
Wow.
strong!
Yeah,
Guess for
I am not
fish.
cooking all of that.
forever.
That's awesome. D&D.
You guys are fixing it.
Yeah. Maybe, I bet Nick's...
I would like to point out that the fish aren't dead. They are currently
Oh, right.
flopping everywhere. Some of them have escaped the net a little bit and are now flopping across the deck. As
Ah,
fish
that's
do.
fine. We can't eat all of
And
this.
Tagus, if you're up top, then you're gonna see some fish flopping across the deck. Like
Tagus has the biggest smile on his face because this is amazing.
Does anyone have skill in killing fish?
I mean, I don't think
it's
killing
not
them's
hard.
an
Come
issue.
on.
I mean, I don't want to kill any fish, so like I helped
Yeah.
get them in the net, and I'm just gonna go wander off.
Oh, just like, hey,
don't
hey,
have
Zuzia,
that
listen,
way,
they're
fish
gonna
that will
die in a
also
few
kill
minutes.
True,
I mean,
true.
I'll work on, cutting some out and like starting to clean them and stuff like
Okay.
that.
Hey, Carillion, tell your mount thing to just go crazy.
Oh, he's already
Yeah,
eating.
we got plenty.
He's already eating.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you see, as some of the fish go flopping by, the ones that have escaped, Crush chases them down like a cat chasing like a mouse, playing with them before scarfing one down and then going to the next one.
Yeah, I'll
This
just
is
like grab a
my-
fish by tail, call Koresh, and just toss it in the air.
All right. Yeah, he jumps out, grabs it.
Yeah, this is officially my new favorite moment for now. Great.
I have a question.
Sure.
If I were to use Spirit Guardians to wade in there and kill the fish, would that work? And B, could they be angels in knightly armor, but wearing a chef's apron and using cooking utensils?
Yes.
I'm
All
going
of
to do
the yes. Okay. So, you hear, is it? I'm assuming there's verbal and somatic components, but
Yes.
yeah. At this point, you start hearing some mumbling, see some weird hand signs, and suddenly spectral chefs with large
Yeah.
butcher knives with great big angel wings appear and begin to wade into the net, slashing and hacking at fish. And actually, as they do, each time they do, it's like a blur of motion that you can't really even see. But the fish, that whatever fish they cut, is immediately deboned and cleaned and is tossed into a pile outside of the net as they go through one after another after
I
another
just
after
look.
another.
This is amazing.
After about 5 minutes of this, there is literally just a mountain of cleaned, gutted fish sitting on the deck.
I'll just look at
As
Tagus
you-
and just give him, that's pretty good. Look.
That's pretty awesome, Tagus.
Yeah.
High five.
Tagus
That
will
was
put
exactly
the hand
what I
up, but
wanted.
he is still not even staring at this point. His eyes are closed because his smile is so wide, so he's just staring at his look.
Fair enough.
That's some great teamwork we just pulled. Too bad it's not so efficient when we're in battle, but our teamwork, that is.
Oh, if only I
I'm
could
gonna-
roll so well.
I'm going to shout from the upper deck. Maybe if Carillion wouldn't die so much.
Good point.
You've died before?
Hey, yes, I have actually died. It was an ordeal. There's these. You remember that island I was talking to you about with the fire and the volcano?
More or less.
There was these giant spider fiend things that were like 8 foot tall, and they could scrunch up their bodies and crawl on ceilings. It was really creepy. Apparently, after I fell in battle from my wounds, one of them tried to eat me and successfully took a pretty good chunk out of me.
Okay then. He turns back to his guardians. Take 5, guys. Thanks for the help. And they bow to him and disappear.
Is Nick still on deck?
Yeah, I got better from dying.
I've
I
got
felt
better.
bad.
You do notice on one of them, it says, "My other sword is a great sword," and the other on their apron, and then the other one says, "Kiss the chef."
That's great.
Yeah, that was a really nasty island. I did tell you about that fire portal thing, right? When we killed that guy with the butthole face. What was his name?
I quite recall the butthole face.
Yeah, his name was Thulfs.
There we go. Yeah, Thuls.
Falls the butthole face.
And I'll just kind of like glance around, kind of secretively, and just whisper in his ear, "We've also got a morsel that summons Neolithics."
What?
And I'll just walk away like nothing happened.
Jesus Christ.
Uh,
That fucking whistle.
hey, Nix, you think you can cook up some fish? You did pretty good with that griffin meat.
I'm not cooking all of it, but
Oh,
yeah,
no, we'll store
yeah.
them. After they've been cleaned and deboned, about how much do we have?
That brought the weight down, but it's
Right.
still sizable. You have about, after that, 175 to 200 pounds of fish.
This would probably be a good opportunity to practice cooking.
Yeah.
Ooh.
As,
I mean, if you have the
Uh,
resources,
if
sure.
you have the time.
You know
I
what?
mean,
Yeah,
it's-
all of you go and try to cook something, and I will judge it.
Sure.
Are we doing a cooking contest right now?
This sounds
Oh
amazing.
my God,
Yes.
are we doing a cooking
Master
contest
Chef,
right now?
it's happening right now.
I'm staying at the wheel.
Oh boy.
Judge,
I'm
I'm
gonna-
staying at the wheel.
As soon as Nick says that, I'm gonna immediately run to my room and start finding some of the just basic herbs and stuff.
I'll
that
just
they've
look
been
at
growing
Nick's
in my room.
and I'll look at Ta because they're both on the upper deck, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like, so does the winner does Ta have to eat the winning dish?
I think Ta's gonna eat regardless, but
You say have to, like that would be so bad if it was the winning dish.
I mean, look. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, Nyx has to eat all of it, apparently.
Say
No, I'm not going to
Say
eat all of it. I'm going to take a bite and then,
Yeah, I
Ooh,
know.
ooh,
but
I
you
wanna
gotta
go
try
first.
all of it.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, and
so-
anybody that's too disgusting, they're going to get tossed off the ship.
Okay,
Ooh.
so if we're really doing this, who's actually going to be in the competition? Who's gonna
me,
cook?
I'll try.
Bramnick for sure.
Okay.
Tagus will take his own special route to main cooking of fish. It'd be fun.
Okay. So you're gonna join in. So the three of you.
Yep.
Susie,
Anyone else?
you should try too.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I was being asked a question in real life.
I've never had Yanti cooking. Do
Hope
you
you
guys
like
cook,
rats.
or do you just eat it raw?
We eat it always.
Oh.
Fish, after all, you can
Oh.
do raw or cooked.
All right. So who's up first?
Ooh,
Who's-
ooh, ooh,
who's-
ooh!
who's
I want to
starting?
go first.
All right. What are you doing?
I'm
How
going
are you
to.
preparing this dish?
Okay, I'm gonna get some salt, some pepper. Do we have oil?
Sure. You have like a small pantry with the basics. 'cause
Yes,
Nyx-
cool. I'm
got
going
it.
to cut small grooves into the fillet of fish, and then rub
Okay.
it with some salt and pepper. Not a lot, just a little bit, because too much flavor is bad.
Right.
And then put the oil in the pan and fry it once it's hot, both sides.
Okay. Just give me a straight in check to make sure that you don't overcook it or undercook it.
I was really hoping these were going to be
Yup.
survival checks for cooking.
I mean, it could
Wow.
be survival,
I didn't do
suppose.
bad.
No, it's not bad.
I don't believe Curlian was a marine. I think he was the chef.
I think he was the ship's cook. Okay. All right. Who's up next?
I'll go next. Oh,
Okay,
go ahead.
you go next.
Okay.
Guess first.
All right then. Yeah, Stog is going to take a rather unique method to cooking this thing. What he's going to do is he's going to set up a little pot, and he's going to use Mage Hand in order to carry this thing over the pot so that there's no interference from the pan, and control flames to get the perfect grill.
Okay, give me. You know what? Because there's so much magic there, give me a straight Arcana check.
All right then, that's kind of what I was hoping for.
Yep, I
Nat
know.
20.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh!
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, my character's backstory does include the love of food, I think.
Doesn't mean you can make it. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. All right. Who's up next?
Ladies first.
All right. I have selected a fine-looking piece of fish, and I'm just going to cut it into nice little fillets, a few inch long and not very thick, just perfect to swallow or chew if
Okay.
you really prefer to.
Okay.
Just nice little raw pieces that are nice and
Okay.
fresh.
Okay, you know what? In this case, give me a dexterity. As you're trying to cut them to equal.
Jesus. Wait,
Oh,
that's
Well, let's just
dexterity.
say
Woo!
I know
Oh,
your
shoot,
dex
sorry.
is- that's fine. Your dex is what?
So-
is
This one
19,
here?
18.
Sorry.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
that works
So
too.
it's a 24, basically.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Very nice.
Okay. So Bramnik, how are you preparing your fish?
Right. I'm going to go to my room and, like I said, I'm gonna look around in some of the foliage that's been growing and see if I can find anything like that's been naturally growing. Things that I would know are good to eat.
Okay.
And-
Give me a nature check. Yeah, you're proficient with that stuff. As you look around. Okay. You find a couple of small roots that you know or you're pretty sure would go well with it, as well as some mushrooms that would also go well with it.
Nice.
Sort of shallots and all sorts of weird stuff.
Yeah.
If you know what morel mushrooms are, they sort of look like that.
Nice. Yeah. Then I'll just kind of saute everything, get it nice and
Okay.
brown, serve it up.
Okay. All right. So, you all sort of disappear for a moment to cook up your food. Nix.
The ship smells
You
amazing.
sort of- yeah. So everything kind of smells great. It's a weird mix of smells, but yeah. So each of you, Nix, you can choose whose you want to eat first.
Question: with a nat 20, can a little image of Tax's face be burned into the side of the fish?
Totally. That's fine.
Cool.
Considering all
Branding
that.
is very important.
Yes.
I guess you'll start with the new guy.
Okay. So you get a piece of grilled, like perfectly grilled fish, and instead of grill marks, there is an image of his face on it, which is a little weird, but as you bite into it, it is still juicy. It's kind of got a nice little like crust on it. It is absolutely amazing. Maybe some of the best fish you've ever had.
A little magic in every bite.
Oh my god, this is amazing. That is so good. I'm gonna eat that rest of that later. But yeah, you're gonna have to share your recipe there. That sounds amazing. Okay.
Recipe is fish.
There's no seasoning, no salt, no spices.
Yep.
Well, the method
Fish.
anyway. Okay. Next, be Carillion.
Okay. So Krillion's stuff or hands you his. It's got this sort of a salt and pepper spice rub on it. As you bite into it, there's a little bit that might be a little undercooked, but overall, it's decent.
You know what? This is fair because I was really expecting like complete shit from you. So you know what? You did good. Nice, good job. I was not expecting that.
Are you patronizing me?
I think he's she's complimenting you.
Yeah, it was kind of a compliment.
Oh,
Very underhanded one.
Yes.
thanks,
Okay.
I guess.
Okay. Who are you picking next?
Zuzia.
Okay. So Zuzia puts out a plate with these finely cut, small cubes almost of fish. As you bite into it, it's still got all the juices. It's raw, but it's not bad. It's actually really good, and because of the way it's cut, it's quite succulent. It's actually really pretty good.
Wow, you know what? This is so cute. I like that it's all little and cut up and stuff. Like this is like, oh man, this is a great snack. This would make
She
a great snack.
legitimately made sashimi.
Yep.
Okay. Well, there's one left, and as Bramnick puts his fish that's sort of been sautéed with various other like vegetables with almost like a small sauce on it.
I start drooling over it. Well, not over it, but like I look at it.
It looks pretty good. It really does look pretty good. As you bite into it, these sort of odd flavors that in your mind almost shouldn't work together, and then they just sort of meld together in this beautiful, almost cacophony of flavor that's somehow muted just enough to make it truly enjoyable. Make me a Constitution check.
Uh-oh.
Oops.
Or save.
You're in proximity to me, that's
save.
+2.
Okay, 17. Yeah, no.
Some of those herbs are bad.
Nope. So, as you eat these, slowly your vision kind of squiggles a little bit. Like you start to see a little bit brighter colors, and the world seems absolutely amazing to you. I mean, it's all swimming, kind of, but yeah, this is good, but like, it doesn't necessarily taste amazing. But at this point, you taste the other dishes again, and they taste phenomenal on this. Your vision's going a bit blurry now.
Can I insight check to see if she's okay? It's like,
Sure.
Magic mushroom.
She looks. Her pupils are very dilated.
Bramnick, what have you done?
Psychedelic mushrooms, man.
What the fuck?
Wow, oh my god. Can I take all of these dishes? I'm gonna take all of these dishes right now, and yeah, she'll just like pile them up next to her and just start fucking shoving them in her face.
What
Wait, who
about
wins?
Ta? Who's the winner?
I made extra for Ta.
You guys are all winners. This is all so good.
I'm pretty sure she's really high right now.
I'm gonna take the plate from Bramnick and then just hold it over the edge of the ship and dump it into the water.
No,
And then
that
hand it
was
back to him.
no. Why are you throwing away? That's a waste of food.
We
I
still
mean, we got
have like so
175
many
pounds
pounds
worth
of
of
food.
food. like we're okay.
Hey, next one, once you come to, you might want to ray of frost the rest of the meat we haven't put in that cauldron of cooling.
What ray of frost?
In there.
And then she'll just like pop her hand up and just shoot ray of frost at Carillion.
Oh
Give me a
god.
perception check.
Me?
Yeah. With
Okay.
disadvantage.
I mean, you're tripping
Oh.
balls right now.
There's like 6 of you.
Okay. 12. Okay. Ray of Frost. That's the AoE one? Yeah.
Nope.
If I remember
If
right.
Ray of Frost
No,
is
that's
just
It's the
single
beam.
shot.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So,
Can I react
as
fast
you
enough?
do this, you aim for Carillion. Carillion, make me a dex save.
14.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so Carillion, you think she's aiming for you. And as the bolt goes off, you sort of jump out of the way and jump directly into the path of the beam and are, as frost sort of goes across your chest, you feel very, very cold right now.
Oh god fucking damn it, she's trying to kill us with ice now. Birdie, help!
I mean, you asked for it.
What? You said ray of frost. So there you go. Can I eat it?
How many health
Eating
points of
this.
damage
Can
do
you
I take?
Stop talking to me, thanks.
2d8 cold.
It's fine.
Do I have to
so
make a con
it's a
save?
tie then.
Yeah, wait,
I don't
Nick,
know.
who
Next
won?
is judging. I'm not judging.
Nix, you won.
She said that everybody won.
Yeah, so it's
No.
a tie then.
No, we need a winner. Aw. Oh well.
Well, I ate it all, so I can't tell you now.
Okay.
You know what? Good enough for me, Tagus says as he conjures a little mage hand. Good job, little buddy. High fives it and goes away.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Next, you swear to God, you just saw what looks like a very thin, like clown, like funhouse mirror version of Tagus high five a fairy or something.
Her eyes will just like go wide, and she'll like tilt her head, and her mouth will slowly just open, and she's like, "What?"
These schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
It was kind of going through my head right there. However,
While I'm just gonna brush the frost off of my chest plate and try to warm myself up and just be like, Wash, does anybody want to fuck with her while she's like this?
Nah,
Nope.
Don't ruin her trip. It's a fun time.
I mean, you didn't have to do something bad. She did hit me with a ray of frost.
Well, again, she's tripping balls. You asked for a ray of frost.
On the... Stop saying it. I asked for it for maybe on the meat.
Maybe she heard me instead of meat.
I mean,
I still look really unsatisfied.
Hey, do you guys have any extras, or did you give her all? Because I'd like to try your guys' as well.
there would have been extra, I think, but Nyx might have devoured all of it. I don't know. It's up to you guys if you made extra or not.
I have extra because I didn't want
that's
her
fair.
to.
Yeah.
Like I saw what she was doing.
I
so
used
gonna
the
get
whole
some.
fish, but like, yeah, it's just like, yeah, there's two portions.
Tagus would have at the very least saved some for himself.
3
That's fair.
quarter portions.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a bit of extra around.
I'll eat some sashimi.
Okay.
I kind of want to try. Oh wait, no, hold on. Bramnick doesn't have any extra left over. I'll toss it over this side.
Don't worry, I got more of those shrooms in my room. Don't worry.
Get that stuff away from me. I will try. I will definitely try Tagus' dish though. I will specifically not eat the part with his face on it.
The magic cod. Yeah.
Yes, the magic cod. At least you didn't make it taste like bacon.
Do I know
That'll be
how?
a callback that only Thunder will understand.
Do I know how long it's gonna take for this stuff to spoil? All the hundreds
if
of
you
pounds.
leave it out in the sun, not very long. But like if you keep it chilled, like you can keep it for quite some time.
Could I? That's probably a bad idea. Never mind.
Can I take a sack and fill it with the meat, put it in like the hold, and then carry Nyx over and say, "Hey, Ray of Frost that bag."
Sure.
She'd probably start screaming and flailing her arms when she tried to touch her. And be like, "No, I don't want no."
Do you want more
Don't
fish?
touch me there.
No, I'm kind of full now. Thanks, though.
Damn it! All right, I guess the fish is gonna be down there.
Next, make me a Constitution check.
Yeah. I'll
22.
Okay. Yeah. Your trip is you're starting to come out of your trip now. The colors are slowly starting to fade. Things are starting to look like actual things, not like lines and weird squiggly shapes. Yeah, it's all coming back into focus slowly, but yeah.
Well,
She's gonna contemplate doing something to Bramnick, and then just go to her room and just kind of wait for it to go away.
All right. Yeah, you're still kind of swimming in your own head, but you're not. Yeah, you're in control now, and things are starting to reform the way that they're supposed to.
To be fair, Raven thought all that up. I had nothing to do with that.
That was all spur of the moment. It just sort of
Right.
made sense with a 12 that you you found something
That I
fun.
thought would be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
At any
Good
rate,
in a way.
Tagus will also volunteer that he can not freeze stuff, but cool stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. Cool. In that case, I guess, like, just put the fish in, like, 1 foot, like, things, and then toss the rest over the side because we can't keep it.
And once he remembers that, he just kind of goes over to his dish and goes, sushi, grilled, sushi, grilled, sushi, grilled. And continuing warming and cooling it over and over again.
Okay.
Oh, that's gonna do bad things to the meat.
Does well, yeah. It'd be a little weird, but yeah, you can totally do that.
I mean, it is cantrip, so you can cast it all day long.
Yeah.
So technically, you could chill all 175, no, all 200 pounds of
We
this
could
left.
put it all in the hold and kind of keep the area nice and
Sure.
cold, or try to.
I will go ahead and, hey, Todd, this won't slow us down too much, right?
I mean, we literally can't leave until we recharge the crystals, so...
At this point, it would have been the morning, so you guys had the night rest. I'll say it's like mid-afternoon. You're getting close to having your charge time done.
Oh, good, then I take off as soon as we can.
Okay. So what are you doing with the fish? I actually need to know this, unfortunately. I never thought I'd say that, but...
Oh, yeah, what is the weight at this point?
200.
It's a little close. You guys have a couple of extra people on. Thankfully, neither of them are like in full heavy armor or carrying a lot of stuff. But like the extra fish, well, it doesn't necessarily like weigh you guys down.
Wait.
Necessarily, it does pose a problem in that no matter where you store it, unless you're storing it in like a giant box, which you don't have, you're gonna have a bunch of loose fish.
Put
What?
the fish in the bag of holding.
That's a terrible idea.
Cook what you can, toss the rest.
No. Alright, I guess I'll just start shoveling like 100 pounds of fish over the side.
I'll see if can you make fish jerky? Is that a thing? Can I like dry it?
Yes, kind of. It
There
won't.
is a method for doing it, I guess, but it's gonna take a long time, and you're gonna need a lot of space to sort of let it out. And I don't think that you guys have the salt reserves that you would need.
Yeah,
Could
we
always
need to make
smoke it.
fish flakes.
Yeah, you could put it in Birdie's room and smoke it, but
That's not good
It'll all
smoke.
have a hint of iron.
yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah.
Tastes kind of nickely.
Fish on a stick, fish pie.
Fish gumbo.
As we're
Chowder.
taking off, I want to like veer north just slightly, so we're actually over the woods. So when they're dropping fish, it's like going down into the woods. Just to,
It's just
just to
raining fish on hunters.
yeah,
And stuff. Like,
either to feed creatures in there or really confuse anybody that finds them later.
I mean, depending on how high up we are, there might not be anything left when they hit the ground.
We wouldn't be super high at that point.
Yeah, no. So as you take off, you're heading over the woods part. Sort of, there's a lot of clearings and stuff, and a small waterfall or fish fall, so to speak, into the woods. You can hear. How high up? How high over the trees do you want to be?
Well, we would have just taken off from the inlet, so we'd be
Yeah.
like basically starting to ascend above treetop level. So
Okay.
pretty low.
So you're about 20 feet over the trees or whatever, starting to go up, and you can hear fish hitting the ground and splatting, and various creatures crying out in surprise as dead fish, gutted and deboned, slap them quite literally. I don't understand you guys sometimes, but it's great.
I guess.
However,
how much
yes,
fish
the
do we
fish
want to keep?
waterfall as Corellian, pulls out I'm sure you guys have some kind of like shovel-ish thing, and you just sort of push
We'll just use the great
the
axe.
fish over the side.
We're gonna attract a lot of birds.
Yeah, there is now a huge flock of seagulls following your ship and then diving into the waterfall, picking them out as they fall. Next, where are you at?
She'd probably be near Todd, just
Make me a
continuing to just
dexterity
learn.
save.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Nope.
God.
Well, I'm a
Tagus
bit
will
too
say
far
hello to
away
each of
from
the
you.
seagulls as they land.
Fuck!
You are once again pooped on by a bird.
She will take a very long breath and exhale slowly.
At least this time it wasn't Bramnick.
Yeah.
And his flock of ravens. Or-
Yeah.
You know what? No. Do I know where the seagull was? Do I know which one pooped on me?
You know what? For the purposes of this, yeah, you could probably pick out, because there's not very many above. They're all sort of going through the waterfall of fish, but there's a couple above. You can pick out one or two that it might have been. Sure.
Woo!
You hold your hand out, split a beam take out the two seagulls that you are thoroughly convinced are the ones that did it, and they drop, joining the waterfall of fish off the side of the boat.
I should imagine an
Fuckers.
owl comes up and picks those up.
Yeah, I mean, quite possibly.
Like, well,
Yeah.
I'll go over to Nyx and just precipitation away the poop.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Oh, that is. Thank you.
Hey, can you make me
I like
smell
helping.
better?
I will say the deck of the boat now does smell distinctly of fish.
Oh
right.
god,
Now you guys just swab the deck.
I did not miss this.
Hey, we did all the fishing and the cooking.
And you brought the fish up too.
And you drugged me, so I am not even touching that shit.
Not intentionally.
I'm
Alright.
gonna give Nyx controls.
Okay.
Hey,
I'm creating
Takes over
water.
piloting for now.
Tagus,
wash
can
the
you make the smell go away? I guess we're gonna keep like what 100 or like 75 pounds of fish.
You can fill 20 pounds in the cauldron of cooling, and the rest is not going to be kept cold by anything. So, unless you're going to be casting spells on it, like for the rest of your time.
I mean, Tagus can probably cast prestidigitation on it and keep it chilled in the hold. It's already kind of cold down there, anyways.
Sure, but eventually it'll warm up to because there's a difference between cold and refrigerated. And you gotta keep it refrigerated, which will take some time.
Hey, Koresh, you still hungry, boy?
He just sort of looks at you, big dopey dragon grin on his face.
I start tossing him like 3 to 5 pounds of fish fillets.
Okay, catches them out of the air. There's still like a small pile of fish. He kind of goes diving through it like dogs do with piles of leaves. Coming out with large mouthfuls of fish, managing to eat the rest of it, mostly, until you eventually have a very bloated guard drake who has gorged himself on way too much fish for his size and is just sort of basking in the sun, even though it's kind of cold on deck, just sort of basking on the sun, completely unable to move.
Catatonic.
Due to the basically, yeah, take food coma and put it to the nth degree.
I just like look at Todd and gesture at Koresh. Like, hey, problem partially solved.
Yeah.
I'll use a
Now
combi-
Koresh also smells very much like fish.
Nah, that'll be fine. That can wash off.
I'll use a combination of create and control water to like swap the deck.
Okay.
And get rid of all the fish guts and
it doesn't take
push
you
it off
too
the
long.
side.
You get all that, and there's still a slight hint of fish smell as it was fish oil on, deck.
Yeah.
But It's significantly diminished, and you're pretty sure that it'll fade over the next couple days, probably.
So how much of this do we want to stick back in that cooling cauldron?
We'll
Oh no!
at least
Fresh
20
just ate
pounds.
100 pounds of fish.
Oh
I
Jesus,
think
he's
already
not
stored
that
20
big of a
pounds,
guard,
right?
Drake.
No, this is why he's ridiculously bloated right now. He just ate nearly 100 pounds of fish. You guys shoved another like 50 to 75 off the side of the deck, and you have an extra 20 in your cooler.
Cool.
Yeah.
There is no fish left.
I'll just gently pat Koresh on the side of the head. It's like you're a good mount. Just relax now. You've done your job.
He doesn't even look at you. You just hear this sort of like the end of after Thanksgiving dinner groan from him. And you just start hearing snoring. Do dragons snore? It doesn't matter. They do now.
He probably does.
Yeah, he probably does. So, so you guys take off. If there's any other projects you want to do with the other, well, if you're casting spells, would be 3 days to go. At this point, Declan was also watching all that crap, but was kind of wanting to stay out of it for the most part. He starts. It looks like he pulls out a notebook, starts writing stuff down. Seems to be drafting some kind of letter. At the same time, he will tell Ta and Nyx, as they're up top, that there is no airship dock currently, and arcane things, well, they can be allowed inside the city. It's usually under a lot of scrutiny, or rather, arcane vehicles. They don't. The city itself, doesn't have a teleportation circle or anything along those lines, specifically to help guard against people coming in with invasion fleets or just teleporting in the middle of the night or something. So he would suggest to land in the river and then go up from there.
Yep, that's the plan.
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds good.
Okay. If anybody has any projects for the next little bit, now's the time.
Nope.
Okay. All right.
I'll just be maintaining my plants as well.
All right. Yeah, it's easy enough. Every day, and go out there, water them a little bit if it didn't rain. It's getting a little bit warmer now. Now that you guys are, a little bit further south. Let's see here. So, you guys can see as you sort of start to, you guys are probably around about there, I'd say. Or do you want to go on the north side or the south side of Kielkrati?
Which way does the stream flow? South, right?
Yeah, it goes to south.
Yeah, I'd want to land on the north side then.
Okay. So we'll say you're kind of up here. You can see below you a little ways a fair number of riverboats, large, almost barges, that sort of thing. But you can see some odd inlets, almost like small ponds that connect directly, where the water sort of swirls around. Some of them seem relatively guarded or hidden for the most part. It seems like a decent place to land, but there is up that way there's a decent amount of traffic. So, it's your choice if you want to land now or if you want to do it in the middle of the night or whatever. I'd say it's like 5 p.m. at this point.
I'm gonna try to find someplace kind of hidden away from prying eyes to land to get into the river.
Okay. Yeah.
Deck
Do you
20!
want to wait for darkness? Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Well, I mean, we can find it now while there's still light.
Okay. Yeah, you can see one that actually has like a little river estuary that peeks out. It actually, how would I put this? It does like a loop around, right? And it has a small like pond off to the side, so the river actually feeds the pond and then it goes back into the river. It seems like it's big enough for you to land there. It's in the middle of like sort of a copse of trees. It seems like it would be probably the best place to land as far as you can tell.
Yep, I'll go and point that out to Taz. Like, hey, I found a place.
I'm gonna point from him to Nyx, just like gesture him along, like I'm not flying right now.
Oh, hey, Nyx. When maybe
Don't touch me.
No, what? When night falls, I found a place where we can land. I'll just point it out to her.
Oh, okay, cool. And yeah, she'll sit down.
Oh, okay. You want to do it in the day?
Nighttime.
Doesn't really matter.
Nighttime might be better.
Yeah. So you want us to just hover over this spot until
You guys can
nighttime?
hover pretty high up. The cloud cover is actually decent at the moment, at least the higher clouds. So if you're up at, or well, not higher clouds, but there's not like a mist or anything, but there are clouds at about 1,000 feet. So if you're up above that,
Yeah, just like remember when we were coming in for those fucking pirates trying to steal our crystals. If anybody sees us flying, they might try to do the same thing, and it'd be more annoying.
So
Please
I
wait.
guess if all right, if that sounds good. Ty, what do you think?
You're flying.
I'm asking your opinion. God damn it.
Well, yeah, that's probably best to wait till dark. We've got some good cover, but I don't think anybody's gonna probably mess with us if they're running a riverboat.
That's true. Well, I get yeah. Okay. I'll just I guess we'll ascend up like just above the cloud layer.
okay. So you guys appear to be in like the almost like a marshmallow wonderland as these clouds sort of drift by just below the hull of the boat. It's a little bit weird because it's like super misty up here, and just kind of being on deck, you tend to accrue sort of a film of water over time. But it's kind of it's different to probably all of you. Not actually like trying to not trying to bust through a hurricane this time or anything like that. Little gaps in the clouds showing the ground below. You guys stick up there for about 3 hours until it gets just past dusk. It's dark enough that it will likely mask anything, and you guys can land in the little estuary area.
Alrighty, then yeah, she'll do so.
Okay. You land there and begin heading down the river towards Kiokrati itself.
I'm gonna drop the sails.
Okay. Yeah, and Tagus, you would know this spot. I mean, you've probably traveled this way initially to get out of Kiokrati. Yeah, so at this point, through the night you guys travel. It's a lot slower going, but thankfully the river, takes you a lot faster. In the morning, you guys can see a large grouping of sort of standing rocks, almost like what do I want to call it? Oh, geez, the almost like mesa rocks. The large
Flat.
jutting peaks that have were maybe part of a canyon at one point here and there. Quite a few of them, and there's a grouping of 3 sort of set almost in a semicircle away from you. They seem to be curved inward. The top one, Tagus, you would know that as the Dragon's Rest, the place where the Wyvern Riders of Bahamut are. And the other 2 sort of shield the city itself from the elements, as it is sort of tucked just sort of inside and on the river itself, as these sort of loom over the river. So yeah, you, as far as you can tell, you are about by the way things are going, probably about 2 hours, 3 hours out by ship. And as you do come around the corner, you see Kiokrati, the holy city, built on these sort of pillars, these sort of rock formations that stick up with bridges across them. It's a very large city. You can see on each of these sort of rises there are various temples, as well as these sort of guard posts on some of the smaller areas. Many, actually, yeah, you see a couple of glints of silver as winged beasts fly pretty high overhead. I'm sure one of you can make it out, especially Bramnick with his fucking 30 perception potential.
Wow.
31.
32. Yeah.
Jesus fuck. Yeah.
Passive 22.
They appear to be silver wyverns. There are guards posted. You can see fires burning in each of the citadels, almost like lighthouses, I suppose, or beacons, ever burning, sort of this yellow-orange flame. With several of these rock formations almost sticking out above the rest. And yeah, I think that's where we're gonna take a break, or we'll end for today. It's up for you guys. If you guys want to keep going, I'm totally down with that, but I need a couple minutes break because my throat.
I'm cool to keep going.
I
Where would you be
have
able-
another 3 hours, so
Yep,
Oh,
I'm
wow.
good to go.
Okay.
Do need to go get something to eat though.
Yeah, so let's take a 5 real quick, and I'm gonna
Cool.
go get some cookies because I want cookies.
All right.
fair enough.
Yeah,
And,
cookies.
Go for
Oh, I got some moles.
Cookies.
Oh,
I only have
Alright.
Reese cup.
I
I'm
want
gonna go ahead and
cookies.
stop this stream right
Yeah,
here
I've
and
got-
pick up when we come back.